summer pretty much. Just a visit, go to Orlando.
All right. So we'll be starting.
Okay. I asked because
he's outside now. So.
Okay. You still got a lot of like family friends that way?
Yeah, plenty of family out there in Milwaukee. It's a lot of my just like aunts and uncles, and then my grandmother stays out there as well on my dad's side. So
because I get a lot of I work with like a national company, and I get a lot of jobs that way. Like I'm the recruiter for that area.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't give me the jobs here in Orlando. Yeah. I haven't overtaken the Orlando market yet. Even though I did place one person at our Orlando place. But yeah, I get a lot of jobs in that Milwaukee area. Cause we got two big plants there. Yeah. So it's like industrial supply. So it's a lot of different kind of jobs. So I couldn't, you know what I mean? But if anybody ever that way, you ever hear they looking for a job, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. I can get you the address of what we have.
I got you.
What's going on, man? Yeah. Yeah.
We are hot mic right now, so you know.
Yeah.
And then once it's going to start.
From the sunshine. Say the craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. I'm Big Bubba cross my black car. It's booby traps and pit bulls cross my backyard. I'm still strapped, boy, these handguns on Vanguard. I like going against the grain cause my head hard. Babe, I used to thug hard to see this crack hard. I don't thug nothing but the motherfucking task force. Me and two root running shit, we like the fat boys. Paid cash for it, so I try to and fast forward. I put it all in your face like you asked for. Most of you love frontin' like the dashboard. I get it chalked out like the blackboard. I got the ghetto off glass like the backboard. Most of my niggas ride till it ain't no gas for. We been outside like ain't no map for. Been outside like ain't no map for.
I swear to God, these motherfucking jets in Florida is different. Man, I was at this house the other night. Gave her a little side son one melatonin, thinking this little motherfucker gonna go to sleep. Hell no, the little motherfucker ain't go to sleep. I end up giving this little the whole goddamn bottle. He ate them all. It was up all motherfucking night.
I'm in all white ones. Picture could get me a Cy Young. We feel like nuns. No f***s giving like Spice One. We feel like bums. Don't change, then I might run. Feel like bunch. Shit sit when the price jump. I got white bumps. These bags kill it price plump. You only die once. I know you a snake with a sliced tongue. I can't trust you, I'ma dust you. Ain't no checking temperature. It's f*** you, then it's f*** you. These laws I'm stuck to. You know how many 12-12s I run through? My get cut, but my girlfriends get cut loose. My get hit like kung fu. I love the streets, but they never told me I love you.
Yeah, I already know. I'm straight from Florida, G. You know, bottom of the motherfucking map. Home of motherfucking Uncle Luke. Home of Trick Daddy. Home of Kodak Black. Nothing but gold teeth, wigs, and motherfucking sticks. You already know. Bottom of the map. FLA. Shaped like a motherfucking Hezbollah. Have you, want it.
Welcome back. You guys are back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. My headphones volume is through the roof. I gotta get that turned down.
Just take one for the team.
I know y'all can hear me. I can hear myself. But as always, we got a good show for you guys today, man. We're going to be talking some GM5, which is a basketball league here in Orlando. We got two of the best hoopers from the GM5 here. We got AJ and DJaxx. Okay, we're going to be talking about their teams going up against our team and all the different storylines and funny stuff that goes on with that. Got some videos and some highlights too, so y'all can see what we're talking about while we're talking about it. All right. And then, as always, we're going to be talking about some of the trending topics in sports, music, entertainment. We're going to be talking about Shedeur being labeled quarterback 3, which you guys know, but what's next for him? We'll get into that. We'll get into Kevin Durant. He was on a podcast recently, yesterday, talking about 1v1 and all of that good stuff. And on and on. We'll get to it. Now, I was thinking about something earlier today, right? And this kind of leads into what we're going to talk about later today. But what do you guys think from an organizational standpoint, right? If you was a GM, say you got the NFL, you got the NBA. What's the hardest to evaluate? Quarterback or the NBA star? Because you think about all of the flops, as people, sports fans will call it. You know what I mean? That comes out of these drafts, and then sometimes we misevaluate people. The people we all thought Shedeur should be a first, second round type of guy ends up going to the 5th round, and instead we see this happen in the NBA a lot where these guys who come to the draft. Anthony Bennett, number 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's harder to evaluate that you think, NFL quarterback or the NBA star?
I'm going to say NFL quarterback. Because if we're going to say NBA star, I just feel like you can see that. Like, because the way the game is played, it's only 10 guys out there. Like, one guy can have such a tremendous influence, whether you're, like, scouting him or, you're like, identifying him in your team. I just feel like you can do so much individually to control a basketball game when you're a really great player. And if you don't do that, you're not a great player. Like, we know what that looks like, what it feels like.
Do we?
I think we do.
I don't think we do.
I mean, maybe I do. You might have a personal deficiency, among others, but I just feel like that's an easier thing. And why I say that, I think like football quarterback is. There's so many things that go into like your system, your blocking, your schemes and your like your team that go into quarterbacking. That I just feel as an NBA star, you have so much more kind of control over just impacting the game than you do as a quarterback. I think there are some great quarterbacks out there, but I think that there's a lot of guys that never reach a potential because of the situation they get into and, how they're kind of developed. The one I always think of is like, Jared Goff was like the top pick in the draft. He went to the Jeff Fisher-led Rams. That guy's a moron. And he looked through 1 year like a bad bust. Like, he looked like he was on his way to being football Anthony Bennett. And then you bring in Sean McVay, and he suddenly like develops. He plays in the Super Bowl, and that in Dan Campbell, he's been around good people. He's continued to evolve. He's a Pro Bowl type of guy, But a lot of that, if he had stayed under Jeff Fisher for another 2-3 years, Jameis stayed under that Dirk Cutter guy. Fucking sucked the life out of him like a truck stop hooker.
Y'all get in here, man. What y'all think? Because I got to take on that as well, but I'm going to let y'all get in here.
I'll go. I think Pink kind of took the words out of my mouth with
truck stop hooker.
I got you. No, not that. I would say if you're evaluating talent, I think from an NFL versus NBA perspective, I do think that it's easier to see the eye of an NBA star rather than an NFL star. Only because of you got 5 players on your team out there on the floor. It's easy to see one person standing out on the NBA court rather than in the NFL. If you got the quarterback, you got to have a good O-line. You got to have decent receivers. You got to have a decent run game. You got to have great coordinators over there as well. So I think if you're looking and you're just doing the naked eye test, and you see an NBA star, they stand out so much compared to an NFL quarterback, especially with the depth chart as well. Somebody has to come in, they got to work their way up the ranks. We're already seeing that. You mentioned Shedeur. You have those vets who are pretty much cemented no matter how old they are. They're going to play. They're going to get their minutes, their reps pretty much every game. And sometimes it takes an injury for somebody to actually shine. And I think in the NBA, it's like a quicker turnaround. So you can see if somebody's not producing, pull them out, and you go right into that star that you have on the bench, like one of your first or high second round picks, something like that. And they can produce right away. And I think from an NBA perspective, I think it's easier to see that talent, especially with the size as well nowadays.
Okay.
With players coming in.
Not mad at that.
And then so I second both of those. And then I will also just say, like, when it comes to the NFL, like, I feel like since it's such a contact sport and it's so injury prone, like, you don't really get to see a quarterback, like, do his, like, real thing other than when he's, like, in the actual game. But, like, when you playing basketball, if you want to evaluate an NBA player, you could just have them go play fives. You could bring some reps in, and you can kind of see how he can control the game. But, like, NFL, I feel like when they practicing or whenever I see it's just like not an actual game because they can't just go out there and hit. So I want to see as a quarterback like how tough you are, like in a game, like how tough are you gonna be? Are you gonna get hit and are you fragile? Like so when it comes to evaluating, like I look at other things other than skill, like toughness and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, how can you stand in the paint when it gets really tough?
No, that's a great point because again, it's not even always like physical toughness in terms of getting injured. It's the mental. Like you just get sacked twice in a row, and it's like, okay, are you going to be able to stand in, or you get happy feet and break down the play? But what I was gonna, and I like that like you could put. I mean, obviously it has to be high level, but you could put a high level prospect in essentially a pickup run and still see a lot of what they do if everybody in the game is at the level.
Right. Yeah.
This is why I think y'all wrong. Because yes, when you're talking about just playing the game and you put 10 guys out there and you're looking to evaluate talent, you guys are right. Yeah, you can see that and you can see who separates themselves from the others. But what you can't see, is what's up here. Like you have no idea if this guy is a guy that's going to work harder to get better. In football, when you're evaluating a quarterback, there's so much that a quarterback has to do to be good. Like you have a general idea of their work ethic just by their play on the field, just by them checking down plays, just by if they get to their second or third progression, you're like, okay, this is a guy who puts in a ton of work. Whether in basketball, you could just get a guy who's extremely athletic, more athletic than anybody's playing against. Okay, like I was watching yesterday. I was watching this podcast, and they were talking about the 2000. Damn, don't nail me on this, but I think it was the 2017 draft class. I feel like that's too early, but basically it was the Markelle folks, Donovan Mitchell, that Jason Tatum, that draft class, and they were talking about how all the evaluators had Markelle Fultz hands down as the number one player in that draft. That was coming out of high school with that group and coming out of college with that group, right?
Yeah.
But the difference is with those guys, and this was an evaluator talking like, years past, right? He was like, what we got wrong is, all of those guys were getting better. And we saw it, but we didn't evaluate it that way. While Markelle was better out of that group, he didn't get better with the other group.
The rate of
he was already the rate of progression or getting better, as you would say, it was just less than those other guys, but because he was just so much better than those guys at that time. And it's just really hard when a guy is more athletic, has more skills. You just have no idea. Like Anthony Bennett was a monster. He was.
I seen the summer league highlights one year.
He was a fucking monster.
Yeah.
No, but
Ben Simmons was a monster, but you have no idea.
But you do like have an idea, and that's part of what you're looking. When you're doing high level evaluations, you're digging into like what this guy is about, what motivates him, what type of work he's put in. Now, again, it's an imperfect science, but you're not just looking at physical attributes. You're looking at how a guy carries himself, how he reacts to adversity, things of that nature. If you're doing the job the right way, if you're just looking at physical tools and in either sport, you're doing it a disservice.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there's dudes that like, one of the college coaches was telling, he went to somebody's high school game and left after warm-ups because they wanted to see how serious he took warm-up, how he interacted with his team and his group. They already seen him in camps and this and that, whatever. So they watched warm-ups. And when the game started, they walked out of the gym. They saw what they wanted to see. Like he came out serious. He wasn't, dunking and doing nonsense for the fans. He was like going to kill somebody. And like, that's the stuff that you look at if you know what you're doing. And again, it's never going to be perfect. You could always be fooled.
Yeah, that too.
But
now we all like a good warm-up dunk show.
I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta do something for Bubba in the stands.
Back when I was in high school, they'd come out and play EPMD and dunk the shit out of it. It was great times, man.
All the refs
couldn't touch the rim.
What happened was, so initially they didn't molest it, but then like midway through that year, they started this thing with like you're gonna get a T if you're dunking. Yeah. So the guys would come out super early before the refs, get the EPMD going and dunk, and then act normal when the refs came out. You had to get the hometown crowd ready.
No, facts. All right, well let's get into it here. Once again, you're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I wanted to quickly talk about the Browns situation and the quarterback situation with Shedeur. Of course, he was named the quarterback 3, with Dylan Gabriel being quarterback 2, and the old man Joe being the starter here. So, but basically, I wanted to take it from a standpoint of what
they did get rid of Pickett though.
They did
moved
trade
him on
Pickett
to Vegas.
Yeah, they did trade for
So
Pickett.
that was solid for both guys, really.
Leaves 3 active quarterbacks on the roster. Then with Deshaun being on the IR. All right. So, but what is next? You think for Shedeur? We rolling into the regular season.
If he's
now?
a religious man, he prays for the downfall of others.
That's what's tough about being a quarterback.
Praying of a downfall.
I mean, he needs the break.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned it like in your thing, the injury. Like you need that opportunity.
Yeah.
A
lot broke for Dak. Remember Dak Prescott coming out? He was in the 4th round. He had like 2 or 3 quarterbacks get hurt. He wasn't supposed to start that rookie. Yeah.
But when you're starting this in that 3rd spot, like there's a chance you're not going to get a snap at all. If Flacco stays healthy, plays reasonably well.
Do you think it was a fair evaluation to put him at 3 after what we've seen from the preseason?
I didn't like the fact that he got hurt. I think that hurt him. That really hurt him because he had a good start. He played well. Then he's not available. Lets the other guy come in and play well, which he did, to his credit. And then they basically revert back to 1, 2, 3, and you come in 3rd in that last game with arguably the weaker personnel around you and all that stuff. Right. To not let him take the 2-minute drive was bullshit. That was pathetic.
And it was a weird excuse. It was a weird excuse.
Well, it's not a weird excuse. It's I don't have an excuse, so I'm going to shovel some bullshit. Because
you cut Snoop the very next day.
But that's what I'm saying. Anyway. Like 100%. When somebody is trying to explain something and it doesn't make sense, it's because they're lying and they're not comfortable with what they're telling you.
Yeah. They
can't tell you the truth. That's why it sounds stupid.
But that's what gives the Deion Shedeur super fans that's what gives them that little it's something here, it's a farce, they're cheating us, we're being because they're not being 100%, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either. But again, I watched the Chase Daniels breakdown, and he really he was pointing out Shedeur is just averse to stepping up in the pocket.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember watching the BYU game that they lost there. He did that a couple times where he keeps going back and back and takes instead of a 5-yard sack, sometimes it's 15, 17-yard sacks. Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, that's really just not good football.
It's a drive killer.
And in that, he kind of broke down his snaps in that, and that's what he did too many times. Yeah. I know you don't like the pressure, but if you don't like the pressure, step up and through and, pick up 2-3 yards on the ground and take a slide. But you go back and take a 15-yard sack, you look bad, or you drop that far and you can't get rid of the football and just save the down. He's got to be better for sure.
Yeah. Did y'all catch any of the Browns preseason games or any of the social media talk that's surrounding Shedeur?
Yeah, I caught the first game he played. He snapped. Everybody was loving what he was doing. I forgot who they played.
Yeah, me too. I forgot not to. Yeah,
that first game, but I know. The last game right before the depth chart came out, I heard about him being pulled last minute, whatever, and he didn't have the best game. He didn't play with the best players. I guess some of the players that he was playing with ended up getting cut anyway, so they never even made the roster. So
yeah,
I mean, I feel like putting him in those situations, he didn't have the best opportunity to really shine and show. But I feel like we've already seen what he can do and his flaws stepping back in the pocket so often consistently. And I think maybe him having that line that he had in college, maybe he got a little traumatized from that. So,
happy feet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's a real thing, though.
Yeah,
that's a real thing. When we talk about identifying the stars and the whatever, Carr's brother, that was played,
David.
I can't remember 2 guys. Man.
Yes, David.
The first Carr brother.
Yeah, David.
He took a ton of sacks at the beginning of his NFL career.
Houston, right?
I think so. And he kind of said later, after his career was over, he goes, when I really think back about it, I got so skittish in the pocket because I was getting hit so frequently. I stopped looking through progressions, and I really didn't become the quarterback I could have because it kind of traumatized in a way, how he was playing football. So
if that is a thing for him, if they work on his mindset with that, as far as just like you said, stepping up in the pocket, I don't see, honestly, me being probably super optimistic, I don't see how he doesn't, I don't know, start maybe a few games or become two, because I don't know what Dylan Gabriel's situation is. I know it's a UCF guy, so I'm rooting for him there, but I don't know if he's 100% healthy to be the second quarterback, right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's healthy enough for it, but I don't know. A couple of weeks ago, I came in here and said that we're definitely going to see Shedeur. This was before that last preseason guy. I said we're definitely going to see Shedeur play this year. This is all just whatever because of the pressure, right? The pressure that's going to be on the organization, on the coach. But now, the more I think about it, I don't know if the real pressure is going to be there. Yeah, there's going to be a sector of people who just root for Deion Shedeur no matter what. It's going to want Shedeur to play. But I don't know that's going to be like that whatever, that Tebow pressure, that what's my guy's name? The 49ers that need that nailed Kaepernick pressure. Yeah. I don't think the pressure is going to get to that level, to that degree. You know what I mean? And in all of this, Dylan really gets screwed in a lot of this too, because like nobody cares if how well he played or how bad he played. We just want him out of the picture.
For sure. Right. No, that's tough. I mean,
and he comes out with that, that comment about the entertainers and this and that, and it's like I could tell he's frustrated too. He's not in the best spot.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's bad for both guys. We talked 2 rookies in the same class at the same quarterback. It just doesn't work. You don't get the reps. You don't get the development you need. But a lot will depend on how the season plays out. Yeah. Like, I mean, if Flacco stays healthy and the team is like kind of okay, like they're probably not going to do a lot. If Flacco gets injured or gets benched, then the floodgates are open, and I think they'll have to start both guys at one point or another just to see what they have, even for trade purposes, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, and they have like in the next draft they have 2 like first round picks.
Yeah,
they have theirs, which they're going to be a mid to bad team. Then they have Jacksonville. Who the hell knows what Jacksonville is going to? Yeah. I don't even know how they got Jacksonville Jaguars first round pick. But and the Jags are boom or bust.
Yeah.
Like who knows? Travis Hunter goes out and he plays a couple possessions both ways, and we never see his face again. He's hurt.
Yeah.
after 8 possessions on both sides of the field. So I don't know what Jacksonville is going to be.
No.
So and then you have this huge. You got Manning could come out in this next draft. You have really real quarterbacks, great, really good quarterbacks that are being graded that can come out in this next draft. So that's why I think you have to play Shedeur this year. You have to see what you have, like you said.
Because I don't expect them to have a good season. I think they'll end up playing all 3 guys at one point or another.
Yeah. So you got Mark saying free Shedeur.
Free Shedeur.
You got TP saying I'm not a fan of the move. Shedeur needs to be a secondary or a starter. For a team that needs it. And then Mello said, how the ops get on the podcast. Before me, I got to request a trade to get some love.
Oh, wow.
Shout out Mello, man.
I did think about it. We haven't had Mello on the show.
He was half a guest that time when we had Terrell and Josh.
Yeah.
He was there. He was here.
We offered him the mic. Yeah. He wouldn't get on. So
I think he had baby duties.
Yeah, he did have the baby. You could have brought the baby home. I know. Baby-friendly podcast.
First child. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad if AJ rolled in here with the family.
My son's hearing everything. Trying to keep him at the
house. Just like my kids, man.
I can't replace.
They heard it all.
No, that's what's up. All right, then let's move it along here. All right. I thought this was really interesting too. So you got Kevin Durant on the podcast, right? And they're asking him because, of course, all the one-on-one tournament with Michael Beasley and those guys, that was the talk. So they're asking him if they were to do a 1v1 in like the All-Star game. If they would make that one of the events, a 1v1 in the All-Star games, like what would it take? So he's going through like, okay, it would need to be, first of all, the money needs to be right. $1 million, that's cool. Okay, then what about the rules? You know, you got 5 seconds or whatever, 3 dribbles, or you know, you got to figure that out.
Right.
But he says once if the rules are right and the money is right, he would get in.
Okay.
And then they went to cycling about some players, you know, that he wants to play whoever's perceived as the best player in the NBA. That's his thing, right? He's like, whoever y'all think is the best, that's who I want to play against. And then they start naming names. It was on the Draymond Green podcast. So Baron Davis thinks Giannis would sweep the field. And so he's telling KD that to his face, and, you know, respect to that. And some of the other names KD named was he thinks that Shea would do really good in this format. Okay, he says that he played against Jason Tatum one time. And Jason Tatum got him. He said Jason Tatum didn't miss a shot.
Yeah.
Like, it was some incredible tough shots. And he said Jason Tatum is like really cold in the 1v1 format. I thought that was interesting. And then he says, of course, then you got guys like Kyrie if he's healthy and stuff like that. Who do y'all think? Okay, I didn't hear him get to. I only saw the snippet. I didn't hear him get to a James Harden name. I don't know. I think James Harden would be tough in that 1v1 world.
He doesn't have the benefit of the referee, and he'd have to guard somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, if healthy, Kawhi would be tough.
Kawhi
would have
I mean,
to
just
be
because I think you got like there's that thing
Both
like
sides of the ball.
I mean, to a degree, I think Kyrie and Shea might be a little bit disadvantaged because just the size component.
But Shea's bigger than you think. Pause. But he's like what 6'6",
but not bigger than Bubba knows. Yeah, but I'm still getting like when you mentioned Tatum, like the reality Tatum's like long as shit, and so he can just rise up and shoot almost whenever he wants, you know. And then he does have some ability to attack off the dribble. I mean, I think that's kind of like the profile of the ideal guy to win this thing. I mean, Luke is a guy because he can always create shots.
Yeah.
You know, would be another guy I'd consider. I don't like. Would Jokic be like? Because he can't really post people up.
Because you're only going to get a certain amount of dribbles or seconds. So even though
he among the absolute best,
he can
players,
make some tough shots though.
Yeah, again, he also is going to be able to shoot. You know, because the reality is he could just take that one dribble, get you to the elbow, and just kind of give you a little shimmy and shoot what he wants. Yeah. So I don't know.
I think Anna be real good too.
Yeah. For sure, I like that.
Yeah. I do like that. What's like so? Okay, so give me the top 3 that you would go with, that you would put your money on. You would go to Hard Rock and say, okay,
win, place, and show.
Like from order or just top 3?
Yeah, just top 3.
One-on-one.
Yeah, top 3 1-on-1 that you would put your money on in the NBA to win it.
Probably like I'll go KD, Kyrie, and it's a toss up between like Tatum and. I can see the Giannis thing, but it depends on the style of the game. So I would say probably Tatum.
The Giannis thing is interesting. You know, because the whole thing around Giannis, especially when James Harden brought it up a few years ago, was the no bag. You know, that was the thing. Like, he doesn't have a bag, but it's tough to annually average 30 a game with no bag. I mean, the man.
In a 1v1, I mean, the reality is there's no help.
Yeah.
And like when
you don't really get a running start.
Yeah, but if he gets you up on him and just turns and steps, like he's there.
At the rim. Yeah.
That's why like it could be tough. And we were talking with Hassani though, like if you give him some space, you kind of give him the runway. You know, if you kind of play off figuring, I know you don't shoot it like that, you know, you might give him a runway where he can kind of get at you. But, yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to watch all the top guys go. Who do you got, AJ, in your top 3?
I'm going Kawhi, KD, Giannis.
Okay. So you in on the Giannis boat.
Well, you go Kawhi right away.
Well, Kawhi my favorite player, so I'm always biased with Kawhi. Okay. He a two-way.
And I'm not
against it. Like I can see.
I'm not a Kawhi guy, but I mentioned him, and I actually think he would be a killer in this format.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, he's gonna give the defensive stuff, and like, all of his moves are like simple 3-dribble things. So it's like it's almost like it plays into his hand. This is I don't have to change anything I do, and so I would probably mirror your 3 guys. To be fair.
Now mine, okay. Now y'all put Kawhi in here, so that means we're saying, of course, health provided.
Yeah,
For sure.
You know what I mean? I don't see how you beat Joel Embiid, a healthy Joel Embiid in this. I don't see how.
Man, a healthy Joel Embiid
I don't
is crazy.
see how you beat him in this.
Yeah.
He does every fucking
I almost
thing.
forgot
and he
about
can
him.
defend.
Yeah.
And he can
because he
defend.
always hurt. It's
But
hard
we'll
to
never see him
remember
healthy
him
again, probably. So yeah, that's probably a cheat
Yeah.
because we'll probably never see him.
Yeah, because
sad
he
situation.
shoots it well enough, and you're not going to bother his shot even if you're big.
And he can move his feet well enough to stay
Stay in front,
five
and
dribbles in front of-
long enough to
long
like
enough.
contest stuff, even if he's not super close.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
that's
forgot
probably a
all
good
about
call.
Embiid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then, I'll still go with the healthy Tatum. The KD's comment really got me there.
Yeah.
And then I'll go with Shea.
Okay.
I think Shea is really tough and an underrated defender. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like that. But Kawhi is one of my like all time favorite players though.
Straight up.
Yeah, because he's in my like top 3 to top 5, like just
Yeah.
pure defenders of all time. That's any position in
Yeah.
it. Because he's 1 through 5, well at least 1 through 4 in his prime.
Yeah.
It's really fucking tough.
It's crazy. Nobody mentioned Steph. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know he can't dribble the ball, but you're gonna let me shoot the whole game then.
Yeah, the thing is like half of his
I mean, he can't
production
defend
is
the ball as
off
much.
ball movement and catch and shoots. Half of it, I would say half.
Even in the dribble, he does get in the lane a lot, but it's
a lot of dribbles.
It's a lot of dribbles. It's a lot of set up and lull you and then go and
Even somebody like one of the Thompson twins, if they keep progressing.
Yeah, if they keep
I would-
for sure.
Yeah.
they can take
I'm
something
really
like that.
rooting
Especially
for
that
those
Houston
guys
one.
to keep evolving, man.
Yeah. You said you wanted to see him on the same team,
I'd
right?
love to see it.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I would be
Yeah.
like, whoever, like, let's go to Houston, let's go whatever, but make it happen.
Yeah,
if I'm not signing no extension with anybody, I'm going to play with my brother.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, the Morris twins did it.
Yeah.
Those guys are ass clowns.
And the Lopez twins, right?
Did
they play the same
get it
team?
done?
Together in the Bucks.
Yeah, in the
I
Bucks.
think so.
Yep.
Oh, they were both on the Bucks?
I think so.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, but one of them was past their prime, right?
Yeah, it was. It's just
yeah.
Robin.
Robin.
Right? Yeah.
Brooks, the better player. Yeah, okay.
I think we're closer to this actually happening than not because they're getting more and more desperate for this NBA All-Star, like different events.
Yeah,
and
for
talk
sure.
around it. And if,
But again, they've got to, like,
You got to bring
get the
stars
best
out.
guy. They got to get the guys we mentioned, not, second, third tier guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the thing.
That's the
Now,
biggest part of it.
Melo says Bam and AD will compete. AD will compete. I don't know about Bam.
Man, I say this about Bam all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Bro, Bam literally is like one of few players in the NBA I think that like has the ability to be the best player in the NBA, bro.
Really?
So what's the disconnect? What's the disconnect?
Never heard that.
Okay, so
First man
I
to
think
say
it's
that ever.
one of two reasons. Like, cause like when you go play for Miami, you gotta play that system, and how Spoelstra want to play
Right,
it. So
right.
I'm thinking maybe he kind of getting hindered in that system.
Offensively.
Yeah, because you got to move it. You got Hero and all them guys. They moving. It's a fast paced offense. But then the other side of it is the jumper. If Bam can get his jumper, I don't see any other flaw in his game. Like he can dribble. He brings the ball up the floor.
He does.
He has great footwork. He's super athletic. Rebound. He has a high basketball IQ. He makes the right reads. I just think like when you're a 4 in the NBA, you have to be a stretch today.
Yeah.
You have to be a stretch, and I feel like you can really only have him out there at the 5, and I feel like he kind of undersized for the 5.
He's undersized for the 5. But one thing I will say, he's the best 1-5 like switch, like defender. Like a guard hates to they I mean they just go away from that play.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Bam is great in that. Yeah, I can see that. That's another great like assessment of him being undersized. So he's really a natural 4, but they have to play him at the 5 because of his knockdown shooting capabilities.
Yeah.
Now every once in a while, now you'll see Bam shooting, especially the mid range. He's kind of like coming on along now.
Yeah.
The 3-point may never get there with him, but at least he's became a stronger mid range shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think he plays more 4 this season though because they have
They-
Kel Ware now. And
Yeah,
they kind of showed that last year.
he's been developing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he this could be his time to
Expand
But
himself.
they also got Norman Powell now, so he's gonna need his touches.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Miami is another. It's I can't say sneaky because they always like competitive, but they now they have the actual competitive roster. You know what I mean? In this week East, so who knows?
They still have Terry Rozier?
I don't know.
Terry is I believe he's still under that investigation. If I'm
Nah.
not
I read
That
on
cleared?
the internet. Yeah, I think he cleared.
They
Wait,
cleared
what was
two
he
guys.
investigated for?
the gambling thing.
Gambling.
Him
They
too?
cleared two guys. So yeah, it must have been Terry and
Beasley got cleared,
and
basically.
He got
Yeah.
clear, but they said he was still under investigation.
For real?
Yeah, like I seen that
Oh,
yesterday. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was like he got cleared, and then I saw a notification from either Shams or Windhorse, one of those guys, and they said they're
still
looking
looking at
into
it.
it a little bit.
Okay.
Beasley got a raw deal, man. They get that cloud right when his contract was up.
Yeah.
When he had his best year of his career.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's on a competitive Detroit team. And then now
You think that's Lars and Pippen is to blame?
and then now they clear him of the gambling thing, say that, and everybody's already filled their team. Nobody has money.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do now?
Yeah, all the dominoes have already kind of fallen, and you're just stuck.
If I'm him, I probably still want to leave Detroit.
I think he'd be all right.
Because Detroit could have still gave him a contract. Like, you don't believe in me type. I don't know. I'll probably. You
But
know what
I
mean?
kind of like what's going on in Detroit. I wouldn't
I
be
do.
quick to leave that, unless it's like I wouldn't want to leave that and just go to like kind of a crap team that's going to offer you some more money.
No.
You know, if you could get a decent deal from a decent team,
Yes.
But Detroit's definitely, I
They
think,
on
on the rise.
Yeah, they're on the
So-
come. I love K's game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just,
And they got one of the great Thompson twins.
K could be in that one-on-one discussion too.
Oh man.
you think so?
Top,
Oh,
he
man.
on the top 10 probably.
Yeah.
I see
I
Cade.
don't know,
I
top
see
three,
Cade
but-
as more of like a playmaking score, like a, just a guy. But I don't know about a 1v1 tournament.
He's
now, of course, I
crafty,
could
though.
be wrong.
He's
Super
crafty,
crafty.
though.
Yeah.
And he's tall. He's like taller
Yeah,
than
he's
Shea.
tall
I
now.
think.
No,
He's
that's
like
I
6'9",
mean,
yeah.
most of the guys we all mentioned are kind of in that range, you know, like
Yeah.
probably 6'8" to 6'11", you know, whatever.
Yeah.
you
He's
know,
there now.
and he's in that fits the profile.
Yeah, he's what Ben Simmons should have became. I mean, for real.
You throw Paolo
Probably
in there
less
too.
defense. Paulo,
Oh, I
Paolo
ain't trying to go
like a
down
baby
that rabbit
Giannis.
hole.
I'm just a Paulo hater.
Why, man?
Oh, how?
We going to the
he's a
top
big Paulo.
I hate
hater.
watching him play.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh man.
he
because of who's around him or like the
no
way
him
he plays.
him
Really?
He's a ball stopper. It drives me crazy. Every time he catches the ball, he has to collect himself before he does anything, even on a catch and shoot. And I hate that shit. It makes me feel like he's like an untimed test taker in school.
So y'all believe in him?
Nelson
Y'all believe in Paulo?
I do.
Like
Oh, for
as
sure.
let me rephrase that. Do y'all believe Paulo as the best player on the championship team if the team is filled out
Yes.
properly around? him?
Yeah,
See, I don't see that. Yeah, I just don't see
I
that.
see it. And I'm not just saying that because
Yeah,
I work for the team.
ties.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. I was
No,
gonna
no,
let
no.
you just
Bring it up here 'cause
No, I
I'm
see
trying to
it,
get you
though.
to be
wait
on
for
my side.
somebody in the comments that he works for the team. That's why he's saying all that.
No, I think now his driving lane is a little wider. Him and Franz with Bane, and I don't know. I think maybe we upgrade at the 5 a little bit, or put a little more size around him. But I don't see why not. I think he's showing progression every year, even though he holds the ball maybe a little bit longer than he should. He still produces, and he's pretty efficient too. So, and he's a good defender. Like,
Yeah.
and he's still getting better. High IQ guy, work hard.
He's an alright defender.
I kind of agree with Pink though. I get what you mean by like ball stopper, like because like you know how like I understand the type of style you like.
Yeah.
But like the only reason why like I wasn't saying anything about that like initially was because I was kind of like, well, maybe the Orlando Magic are kind of looking at it like, okay, we want you to be this guy, so we want you to like kind of use these first few years of your career to kind of like, you know, fill
Yeah.
yourself out and get comfortable.
I just feel when I watched it closely, it's almost just like it's just what he does. Like it's just he likes to get it, be on 2 feet before he really makes whatever decision he's gonna make. I just think it's almost just like, you know, just how he evolved as a player.
Yeah.
And it's almost something that he would have to like, you know, get in the lab over the summer and like really consciously say, I'm gonna change this aspect of my game. I'm gonna be, you know, quicker and not really hold the ball. I'm gonna if it's coming to me, I'm shooting. I'm making that decision. I'm ready to
Yeah.
fire. If I'm gonna go to the drive, I'm gonna go to the drive. You know, you'd almost have to like. unteach it and teach yourself new, like psychologically. Kind of we're talking about Shedeur, like the stepping up. It's like you have to, if you feel that it is a weakness, you got to like acknowledge it and then fight and power through it with the work, so that it's your mind changes.
Facts. Well, we'll definitely see. Orlando made a really big splash this offseason. You know what I mean? Getting one of the best shooters in Desmond Bane. I think he's going to fit in really well over there. So, they got a shot. I'm in it. I'm going to go to a couple of games this year for sure. Especially if Jackson give me a discount. Now, let's get to some GM5 talk, man. Let's get into that. So, I don't know. I've been over here for the last 30 seconds thinking about, okay, where we're going to go first. All right. Now, I want to talk about both of y'all teams. But first, let's talk about where is it at? Okay. I see it. I kind of see it. What? That's just with the different teams in the league. So, again, GM5 is a basketball league that's here, okay, and technically it's in Sanford. One of the first 2 years was in Winter Park. But it's in Sanford here. We're all a part of it. This is our on the bench podcast. This is our third season. This is our third season.
Yeah.
AJ, what this season this is for you? Just you as a player.
This is 4.
Season 4 coming up. And what about you, Jax?
2.5. I played half of one of the seasons. I played with Park Legends. One of their players got hurt.
Okay.
Brought me in.
Was that back at the Winter Park days?
That was we were at Formosa. I was playing with Dom Douglas.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I played last year, and then this year's my third. So
okay. Now coming into this season, they got some new teams and some of the regulars. Now up here, I got the power rankings on, so they can see. People watching can see. So the power rankings for right now coming into the season, you got NWO, which AJ is on. MVP last season, AJ sitting right here. And then you got on the bench, number 2. Okay, you have Count Up at 3. Park Legends at 4. Team Prey at 5, which is DJaxx, point guard of Team Prey. Then you got 6, this is before they got the new team in Viper, so we'll put Vipers there. And then you have City Ballers at 7, Lion Perception at 8, Dream Chasers at 9. Okay, real quick, do y'all know these teams of Lion Perception or Dream Chasers? Any of y'all?
No, I think I've seen Lion Perception and some leagues, maybe like Winter Park or something.
Okay,
yeah,
some of their players. But if I'm looking at the list of the names, I don't. The only person I know is Dom Johnson, personally, and then Dream Chasers. I know that's a new team. I know Tim, through a friend of mine, but I've never seen most of his guys play. I know he made some nice pickups though in the draft. He had early picks, but.
Do you know any of these guys, AJ? Yeah. On the new teams?
Not really. I don't think so. Maybe a couple of them if I see them, but
that's what I was thinking. It might be when we get out there and you see the guy. I recognize this guy from wherever. But
that's what I'm thinking. So and also I'm thinking that they're down here on the power rankings because we haven't seen a lot of them. So they get in, get some wins. That's gonna change anyway.
Power rankings before anybody plays a game are absolutely pointless. It just doesn't matter. Because
everything changes.
It just doesn't matter.
Everything changes when the ball hits the hoop.
And I know like last year, the group that we started with was not close to what we finished with.
Yeah.
And we had a good year and we won. But it's just there's always going to be change, during the season, whatever. And you just have to see, who's there at the end and who shows up when the game is scheduled. It's the reality of it. You never know. Even when we played the final, Luke was missing and D'Angelo played a half, and so you don't plan that when you're doing your power ranking in fucking August.
No, that's for sure. All right, let's. I want to talk a little bit about NWO. So, and I want to let the people here see some of AJ highlights here. I got AJ highlights playing in the background. But
against us too. Damn,
it's what I can find. That's what
hurts.
That's what's on his page. He likes putting OTB hurt on his page. But so you got Berger as the team owner coming back again. Talk about, first of all, I want to hear. I'm not sure I heard about the playoff game from last season. Right, so you guys lose in the game before the championship, correct?
Yeah.
What? Give me some of your thoughts on that game and kind of what happened, and did that impact what y'all was going to do with this roster coming into this season?
I just think last year, like, we didn't really have an identity, like, and I think a lot of people on the outside looking in probably looked at it and was like, oh no, they do have an identity, but I think within our team we didn't really have one. I think we had a lot of talented guys and we just didn't. I think game in and game out, we didn't know like who was gonna be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because we have, it's not just me. Like, we had guys on the team that could score. We had Bentley, we had Alex Sanchez. Like, we had guys that could score the ball. So coming in, I don't think we really had much of an identity on like who was gonna be the guy. And then I think when that playoff game came, it just kind of turned into, okay, you try to go score now you try to go score now, and you try to go score now. And I definitely was a part of that too. So
yeah.
And it just didn't work well, and that was the result of us losing. So I think this year, us going into this, obviously we have a even better team, I feel like, than we had last year. But I think like we all are holding each other accountable early versus last year. I don't think like we really did that. But now we're like, hey, this is how it's gonna work. We know that we're all, high level players. We're just gonna move the ball, swing, fill in with each other and just play freely. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be like, okay, who's gonna do it this game? Who's gonna do it that game?
Right.
All right, now we gotta ask the real questions here. I can't let you go without asking the real questions. How y'all gonna manage Bub and Tommy for a whole season? Let's how y'all gonna manage Bub and Tommy? Who's in charge of that?
Nobody in charge of nobody. Like those are grown men. But with Bub and Tommy, like I don't get it. Like I don't even get what you mean when you say that. Cause like with me, like anytime I've ever played with Bub and Tommy, like they always the like coolest dudes. They like utmost respect. Like, you know what I think it is? I just think it's a dog thing. Like,
yeah,
we all three of us know that we don't like losing, and then you can see that in another player, like versus if they just out there playing or if they really want to win. And like I think when I look at Bub, will Bub look at me, or when I look at Tommy and Tommy look at me, it's like, no, we out here to, we all have a mutual respect to like, no, we trying to win the game and we gonna play hard as we can, and we gonna try to get the win every time. So I think when thinking of them on my team, I don't think of like, how am I gonna manage Bub and Tommy? Like, I love when Bub be out there showing his, his passion for the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love Tommy's antics. He's hilarious. Like, I love all that stuff. But when they step in between the lines, I know what I'm getting from them. So I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I want them to be who they are.
And for people that's watching, Bub and Tommy are two guards. Bub has won like defensive awards and other big leagues. I mean, he probably still has the steal record in college. An incredible defensive player and a really good point guard with the ball. But he's very emotional. He gets into it with a lot of referees. He's very into it. Like you said, he has a dire need to win the game and dominate. Tommy is another really good point guard, really good shooter, and can pass the ball. He plays really good off-ball defense. He's a guy who has a lot of hilarious antics, and he keeps them going. And if he if you have any beef with him, he gonna find a way to basically top you in whatever antics he got. He got one for you.
Mainly in IG stories.
We traded him last season. Now, mind you, he asked for the trade. But we traded him. He on his IG stories burning our jerseys, burning on the bench jersey.
Yeah, I remember
a jersey that Bubba paid for himself.
Lying, bro. Bubba.
Yeah, straight out of Bubba's
I
pocket.
paid for them jerseys. Pink didn't pay for them. I paid for them jerseys. Burning my jerseys. I'm cold, man.
Bubba had to skip 2 brunches after that.
Had to skip 2 practices.
Yeah, that's wild.
Tommy home, team.
Nah. And we appreciate the free snapper the other day, Tommy. He knows what we're talking
He knows
about.
what we're talking about, man.
I think it was a white one, though.
Maybe Hispanic. I don't even think that was close stories, close friends.
I think that was Eddie Randoms.
but NWO, man, that's I definitely. I'm not gonna say I agree as far as last season, but I can understand what you're saying. Now, what do you think is the biggest? I was gonna ask what you think is the biggest move, right? Is that something you feel like you want to answer? What's the biggest move NWO made coming into the season?
I think we had 2 like really really good moves because we kind of knew like where we was going with our team from the jump, but obviously like making sure my boy Rod didn't re-sign back with y'all was one for sure.
We're bitter about that.
For sure. And then the second one was God, what was I just about to say? It was and then I feel like us like snagging Berto in the draft. Like I didn't expect that we was gonna be able to snag Berto in the draft. Yeah. But I think getting him, man. We play on another team together, man, and that dude can fill it up for real. Yeah. Like I'm really excited that we got him and that he locked in.
That's good.
So I think those are 2 of our biggest moves: making sure Rod didn't re-sign with y'all, and then us getting Berto.
What y'all 2 think about Rod going to OTB? Like when you saw that, what you was thinking?
I felt betrayed
last year. You mean going to NWO?
Yeah, going to NWO.
I think it was. At first, it was interesting because you know what I'm saying, you leave the team that you just want to chip with, and then I realized like whenever I play with y'all 2 are on the same team, you and Rod. So it's like I see the chemistry there all the time, and now it makes sense just to be like, okay, man, we need you over here now. And you know what I'm saying? It's a great move for y'all, so I'm not upset with it. It makes the league more competitive too, in my opinion, which I think is something that we need, especially with this year with all the talent that's supposed to be on the floor. So I like the move. You know, I'm out here to compete. So if they're putting their best 5 or 6 players out, then it makes everybody else want to put their best 5 or 6 players out and all go at it. So
I think it's a great move for you guys for sure. No doubt about it. And I think like externally when we look at Tommy and Bulb, and I completely understand where you're coming from. It's just like we've been around the game long enough. We've seen those the worst parts of those guys get the better part of them at times, and you're just looking at it like, okay, play 10, 11, whatever games we got, get through the playoffs. Is that not going to rear its head at some point in some fashion? My bet, if I had to bet money, I'd say yeah, it probably will. But when does it happen? Does it happen against middle of the regular season and you drop a game that maybe you shouldn't have dropped, but it's not a big deal? Yeah. Or does it happen in a playoff game? That's to be determined.
Yeah. And shout out to Rod, man. One thing about Rod, I give Rod is he hit me early. You know what I mean? And let me know. That's all I can expect and respect. You know what I'm saying? Let me know that he was going to NWO. Lito said that's a bar, Pink. What you just said. So.
I've had many in my career.
and yes, shout out to the Vipers. I see the comments. Shout out to the Vipers, and they said they were actually picked at number 3 in the power ranking. But yeah, shout out to the Vipers, man. Vipers are always going to field a competitive team. Carrier, he know what he doing. So definitely respect to the Vipers, man. Can't wait to see y'all on the floor. They ended up getting Roe through a multi-team thing. So yeah, shout out to the Vipers. They got Roe and they picked up somebody else too that
Zudo.
Zudo. Z, right? Yeah. Well, they always got Z. But I'm talking about in that trade thing. They got Jose too. Yeah, they got Jose Z. Yeah, they got a good team, man. They gonna come in competitive. Facts. That's big facts. All right. Atlanta says, what are the NWO starters?
That's TBD.
TBD. Google it if you don't understand.
Look at AJ being like mysterious over here.
Media
No,
training.
I knew he was
Media
ready
training.
when he explained the Bob and Tommy thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, he ready. That was
Corporate
like
answer.
A+ answer. You know what I mean?
That was a good answer. I liked
That
it.
was,
I liked
that
it,
was.
man. I liked it.
Now let's get over here to Team Prey, okay? Let's get over here to Team Prey. Now, explain last season, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then again, the same question: how did that impact this year?
Yeah.
All right, because y'all have a couple of new players on this roster. All right, and a name change. So it's quite a bit going on.
Was it your team last year or was it somebody else's team? I wasn't sure.
No, we can get into that. So last season, the pink and blue jerseys I was wearing, Team Swift, that was Rashad Peacock. I played minor league with him for a few seasons, and he was like, hey, I'm thinking about getting in GM5. I want you to run with me. So I'm like, yeah, nobody else asked me to play, so I'm running with you. You're the first person I asked. Let's do it. So I had a little bit of control over our roster. We did throw Lou in that draft last year.
Yeah.
I mean, the combine, and then we also put Ladarius Lee in there, which I'll get back to. He got taken from under our feet a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? That was my first time actually being like a team co-captain, I guess,
Right.
like in that owner field, so not really understanding too much about how strict you have to be on your word when you're throwing people in the draft and stuff like that, and like pretty much any players available, they up for grabs. So there was a few things that happened there with that we didn't really try to fight for. We just kind of like, all right, we're just gonna let it play out, which being the new team. So those are like the only two guys that I really brought in personally, were Lou and Ladarius Lee, but we didn't get Ladarius, so we only had Lou. So Rashad Peacock, he was the one that did most of the I guess recruiting and
Transactions
stuff
or
like
whatever.
that. You know what I'm saying? So he grabbed a lot of guys that he knew personally, you know what I'm saying, some friends from high school or something like that. So I was like, hey man, whatever you want to do, like I'm cool with it. And I didn't know much of the guys. I'm taking his
I was
word
just gonna say,
for
so
it.
some of the guys you didn't even know then.
No, yeah, that was
Oh,
my
okay.
first
I
time
was
meeting
assuming
him.
you knew. Okay.
No,
No,
the
it's
only
funny,
person
from-
I knew was Lou and Rashad.
Yeah,
for
because
real.
from our perspective, we knew you, and then we kind of just figured you were the face of it.
No, everybody
and
said
making
that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I was out. I was helping my boy out, so I was just playing ball. And
So-
I didn't realize how competitive the league was going to be. I wasn't really
I
paying
don't
attention
think
to
people
all the
really
teams.
understand to their first year in.
Yeah, and then now, if we can want to get into like how this all developed. So during the season, I think it was one of our core 6 guys from Swift. We had a hard time bringing people to games. It was games we had like 4 or 5 players right before game tip off, and one person running in late. And I don't like to play in teams like that. If we're gonna play in the league, we're gonna put our money up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a good 8-9 guys who are gonna show up and be available. That matters more to me than skill right now. You know, so I'm looking for something like that. So that was something that we ran into a bump in the road. And then mid-season, Lou's on our team, and he's like, hey man, I got this guy Jeff. We need to try to bring him in. And, you know, Jeff's made his name for himself now in most of the leagues and all that.
Jeff
So,
Jean.
so that was my first time meeting Jeff. I had played with him in the past, but I never really, like, talked to him. You know, you see people around the way, you hoop with them, and you keep it going. But I was glad when Lou mentioned that, and we kind of had an understanding, like, hey, we need to bring, like, another punch in here. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really playing my true game, I feel like. I was really shot heavy, and that kind of threw me off. I don't really like to take as many shots, you know what I'm saying, in offense. I try to, like, to get my looks in the offense and kind of have somebody else to feed throughout the game, and that'll get me going. So I think we were kind of playing out of our identity, and a lot of that was put on me and Lou to kind of just, like, you know what I'm saying, be consistent throughout that year, and that didn't work out well for us. We did play better than most people expected. You know, we won some tough games. Most of the games we lost, like even the better teams, we were losing by less than double digits. So, you know what I'm saying, that meant something, even though it wasn't wins. I guess it meant a little something, but, you know, it's all developed into prey. So and this was after the playoffs, like after the All-Star game or so. Lou was like, man, DJaxx, if you're serious about going in with me on the team for next year, let's do it. I never talked to anybody else. Berg hit me up a little bit and asked what our intentions were. Me and Lou personally. Me, Lou, and Jeff actually personally asked us and was like, hey, what's y'all intentions for next year? And I was just straight up with him. I was like, hey, me and Lou probably going to do our own thing. So, you know, I appreciate the ask and all of that. So we went ahead and we were like, hey, let's do our own thing. That's when we came up with Prey, and we were able to actually put our team together. So if you could throw the 5 up or the 6 up again, is me, Lou, Jeff, Jeff Jean, Brandon White. He was our center from Swift last year. That was actually somebody too that I kind of noticed. I didn't know him that well.
Yeah.
I met him at like a Winter Park League, and I was like, "Hey, we got a team. We need a big. You trying to run?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm down." So that was kind of my first time meeting him.
Right?
Yeah, he shoots a lot of corner shots, and he's a great defender and rebounder too, actually. So we got him, and then Andrew Groningen. He's going to be introduced to the GM5 this year.
I think Drew taller than 5'8". I think.
Yeah, I don't know who put that.
We
We were laughing about that last night.
Yeah, I think you guys kind of. You kind of.
I got to shout.
justice
Yeah.
there.
I play with him a lot in the Turner runs, and I'm really excited to see him in GM5.
No, I love Drew's game, man. Yeah, we play with Drew all the time.
And then my guy Chris Williams, I went to UCF with him. So some guys might see him if they see his face, they may recognize him, but he doesn't play in too many of the leagues around here. But he's a solid guy to add just to the rotation and to have in that core set. So I went to lock it down with guys that I knew would show up and guys that I knew could play. So I feel like this 6 set makes us more competitive than what we started with last year, and that was something I'm excited, man, to play with these guys.
And then who you got in the draft?
We picked up my guy Ladarius Lee. You know what I'm saying? First round
Finally
pick.
got him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all didn't try to like trade for him last year?
That's what he said.
Y'all
He just
was a good
kind of
team.
No, yeah,
let it slide.
I don't think we did because I talked to actually, I don't even know how that all went down.
Because y'all did make a trade, I know, because we traded with y'all. So I know y'all made a trade. That was
Trade
late
for
in the
what?
season, huh?
I didn't even know that happened till the day of. You talking about Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like TP was like, "Yeah, y'all dropping Ian." I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know if we got cash back or nothing for that. We can get a favor on the back end.
Thankfully,
Shout out on the podcast. I don't know what happened.
Thankfully, that wasn't a cash deal.
I ain't gonna
I
lie,
don't
I
know
be
what
moving
happened,
and shaking.
man.
I be moving and shaking. But if Melo say he
'Cause I know that's
he
his
wants
boy.
somebody. Yeah. If
Yeah.
Melo say, well, I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
So it just
texted me and
depends.
said, "Hey, y'all getting rid of Ian?" I said, "I guess." So, but no, he's a cool dude, man. Tough guy.
He
You know what I'm
didn't. He
saying?
didn't go out and burn.
Yeah,
the
we was
jersey.
hoping to see him in the in the
They
comeback.
say he didn't burn his jersey.
I ran into him
that's
at
what
the I ran into him at the Big 3 game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's cool dude.
How'd you link with Drew though?
Oh man, I think I met Drew at Matt Turner's runs on
Yeah,
Saturdays.
yeah,
at
okay,
Edgewater. If it's
okay.
not that,
Yeah.
then I met him at in the Winter Park League. But I know Drew's pretty new to the area. I think he's only been here for like a few years. But he's a workhorse, man. Like he loves to play ball and he loves to just be active. So first few times I started playing with him, man, he's running around the floor and I'm like, I was guarding him. And I'm like, man, you gotta stop running around so much. 'Cause he literally, if he don't got the ball, he's running, cutting back door, he running up the lane, setting backdoor screens, cutting all that. So it was just that was the type of guys I like to play with because I like to keep the ball moving around too as much as we can. And sometimes playing out of my element, it's like I'm forced to take, you know what I'm saying, majority of shots, and that's not something I want to go into the game doing. I kind of like to just feed our guys. So I think having Drew is a sleeper pick because people, you know what I'm saying, he doesn't, maybe he don't pass the eye test, you know what I'm saying, so people may see him out there on the floor and not
He has
really take him
an
serious.
amazing receding hairline for a young guy.
So people may see him out there on the floor, man, and not
Hey,
really.
I thought this guy was 38.
Man, when he start playing though, you wake up quick. And,
Do you think that
I was gonna say like the thing with him moving and you, like whenever I like the two of you guys, whenever I have the ball, you and Drew are always available.
Yeah.
It's like you're always alert and ready to get the ball, which is for me, I love that. I love that. I still remember though we played at Edgewater. I kind of flash into the lane, like kind of in the mid post area, and you throw me the ball, and my only thought is cut off of this, and you're like, oh, Pink, I was giving you room to work. I'm like, there's no work being done, man. Like you are the work, not me.
you are the work.
I was dying, man. I'm like, did you see me? What's going on?
No, I didn't get a chance to go through the rest of our picks, but I know we picked Ladarius Lee, Danny Moore too.
Yeah,
back
Danny
up,
Moore.
great
Okay.
big that we,
Yeah, I like Danny.
And then Steve Thomas and Brandon Taylor. I think those are our 4 picks. So I wanted to go with some guys that I knew, you know what I'm saying, I knew their game, and then I think I wanted to go with like some veteran players.
Yeah, Steve was the most active person at that combine. Like he was all over the damn.
And I played with Steve multiple times, man. I've known him probably for like 8-9 years, just playing. I used to play with him at UCF.
I was just about to say. Okay.
Yeah, that was like when I first met him, and that was years ago, man. So like fresh
Steve a
in
cool
college
dude,
and all
man.
that, and
Steve
I
a cool
noticed it a while back, and I played on teams with him, and he's the type of guy where you don't want to play against, but you want him on your team. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like he gonna do everything. He gonna do everything to get under your skin, do all the pesky things, and get the ref on his side. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's a tough rebounder too. He's super strong. You know what I'm saying? I think that's an underrated part of his game. So that was something I like too.
Now, where do you? Is there a team in GM5 you think that's, I don't want to say a rival because technically this will be our first technical season, even though it's a name change. But like, is there any team that you really looking forward to playing against that you think you guys are going to be battling with throughout the season for like seeding purposes, things like that?
Honestly, I'm looking.
I got a team in mind. I think I can't wait to see how y'all stack up against.
Yeah, I want to hear what you want to say. I can't wait to play the champs, so I can't wait to play y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think anybody in the league wants to go out there and show what they got against the champs. So that game is something I'm looking at. I think we've heard a lot of the talk about like me and Melo, you know what I'm saying, like the guards and stuff, whatever, in the GM5. So I haven't played against Melo in a while, actually. Last year I had some work to do. I wasn't able to make that game. So I'm excited to get out there and compete against y'all. And then also I like to see that Jeff Jean and Rod Lawrence match up too. Because I don't know if we got a chance to really see that last year. That's something I'm interested in seeing too. Okay. I think that's going to be a nice battle. So
yeah.
All the top teams that's in the high power rankings, you know what I'm saying? We ready for that. So,
ready for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
I was gonna say I want to see y'all against Park Legends. Like Park Legends is a sneaky team. Like that. I think that may be able to compete. I know you're looking for the picture. I don't have it, but I'm finna tell you they roster though.
Yeah, I know they drafted well too. They picked up Ish, and I don't even know why he was in the draft. Like when I seen him out there, I'm like, bro, what are you doing here?
he definitely top 2 steals of the draft.
Yeah, man. Him and Berto.
Ish can hoop, boy.
I know Ish game nice. So
Ish
that was a great pickup. I know they were tossed
hoop.
between him and Berto, and they wanted another like a crafty guard, so they went with Ish. I think that is a good matchup though, because you got me and Ish, and then, you know what I'm saying, our starters are TBD too. It could change game of games depending on what we need at that time. So we got Dom Douglas over there, and we got Jeff and my guy Chris and Lou, and
then there's they are a large team. So I want to see how y'all offset that, because y'all not that large. You know what I'm saying? Like they got Jay, they got Jay Bird over there. Jay Bird is basically,
oh man, they got Jay.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
He basically a 5 for me. He a center to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he gonna play on this team, because then you got Sean too, which is a 5, and then you got Nick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them 3 like whatever 6, 7 and up. You know what I'm saying, guys? I don't know if they, and all of them supposed to be starters, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing I look at too. I look at rosters and I look at lineups too, and it's like, okay, if you're gonna put all 3 of those guys on the floor at the same time, then we do have a punch for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of things I'm thinking that I'm looking at too, from the outside looking in. And of course, we don't know until that ball bounce. But
yeah, you don't know until that ball bounce. But and is there any other team that y'all think is like a
sleeper team?
Yeah, sleeper team, surprise team.
Probably Count Up.
Okay.
I think that could be a sleeper team. I think Lito know what he's doing over there. You know what I'm saying? Grabbing guys that we may not have access to because they don't know who we are, but he knows, you know what I'm saying, picking up some of his D-Land guys. And
the Prince of Volusia County.
Right. So he grabbing all these guys who we probably don't see in all the leagues, you know what I'm saying, out here in Central Florida.
Duke of D-Land.
Orlando. And I guess he got this guy Blake. Yeah. And people surprised to see if he's going to show up and all of that. So I think Count Up could be a sleeper team.
My understanding is he's going to be in the G League this year, so he will be available for the first portion of the season, and then when the G League gets started, he'll go. But I think he'll probably be replaced by his brother.
Yeah, that's
what I have my understanding.
I don't know the guy, so I don't even know.
Yeah. That's what OTB is reporting. That's what we believe is going to happen. And both of them, Blake is Blake. But his brother was just in the Ace League too. He can really hoop. Evan can really hoop.
Ace League champion.
And you know Evan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You hoop with Evan. Evan can really hoop. Count up got something over there too now.
One of the things that I've kind of maintained is the GM5, like if it's not like a Pro-Am Ace where dudes are home in the summer. Like my belief for the last couple years is that the GM5 is probably the best league in the city that's not like a summer league with pros home. Would you guys agree with that, or
I
have
would.
a different
That's a good
league that
question,
you think of?
I would, because I mean, if it's not like you said, it's not a semi-pro league, it's not a minor league, and it's not, you know, like the Ace League or a Pro AM. I say it's one of the more competitive rec leagues we got right now in Orlando.
Easily, for sure.
Yeah.
And it does. It genuinely seems to be getting better. And like your group is a testament to that, because y'all came in, didn't quite have the right makeup, and then you've addressed it.
Right.
Like, you know, you guys have striven to improve. You guys were good last year, you're good this year. Like, you know, but that's like the more you bring the strength of the teams, like top to bottom tight, the better the league is.
Yeah.
Now-
That was
now-
a conversation. Go ahead, Bubba. My fault.
I was gonna say I want you to tell me that I'm crazy. Don't just agree with me. Tell me that I'm crazy.
It ain't hard.
You know, we do a lot of work with the Ace. When the Ace is coming, we have guys come on the podcast. Of course, Will always comes every year, all that good stuff. I think that if you was to put together just a team of guys from the GM5, I think they could compete in the Ace.
Yeah. But you just can't be anybody. But yeah,
It has to be a team, not like a bunch of, like you're saying, it can't
No,
just be a
but
bunch
I
of
think
good
it's
players.
I
I think it's a simple formula though. I mean, the reality is on the championship team, you had Melo, Keith, Luke, Blake, and Evan. That 5 guys on top shotters. You and Rod have been Ace League champions, and obviously at that level. So you're telling me we take those 7 guys and then pick a few others, and you can't have a strong season? I don't.
Yeah. The
you're not crazy.
The difference is, and I know what Will would say, is because yes, they all have played in the Ace League and they all have had success, but they're always paired with like someone like Melo was just with Melo and Keith was just with Turbo, and also for a while before he left,
and B Moss
Jordan.
and Jordan Sears.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So, and it's like, and I forgot you've been around for a while, so you caught some of KP, you caught some of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but I also look at some teams that Will allows in the Ace, and I'm not gonna say no names or no team names, but I'm like, GM5 team would like really destroy this team.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, those 7 guys we just mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're going undefeated through the Ace, but
Right.
you're a good team and you're in the mix.
All I'm saying is
100%.
competing.
that's
All
what I'm
is
saying too.
competing in the
Exactly,
mix.
exactly. Yeah.
All I'm
I
saying
ain't
is
saying we
competing.
gonna come in and just win the championship,
No.
but compete for sure.
Yeah,
Compete in
no
the
doubt,
mix is
no
what I'm
doubt.
saying.
Then you got guys that's not gonna be Hollywood enough, so they're gonna go out there and actually hoop. You know what I'm saying?
And they're gonna be there every game.
Yeah, they're gonna work hard.
You know what I mean?
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, real quick, going back to when you was asking about who's a sleeper team in the GM5.
Yeah, give it to me.
Man, I like City Ballers, man.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I told
about it. I don't
Pink
know
I
much
like
about
City
their
Balls.
team
No,
right
I told TP I like City Balls. Huh?
I don't know much about their team right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I can bring up their roster too. I like City Ballers, man.
Man, they could be.
They got Phil, Kenny, who else?
My
Keith.
boy, I'm tripping.
Ketis?
Shooter, Ketis. My boy
Yeah.
Ketis.
Yeah, no, he
Ketis.
lighted up.
They got Ketis.
They got some shooters in the league this
I
year.
do. Oh, they do, yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
every team got a knockdown.
So yeah, they got Ketis. They got David Butler. You know what I mean?
So you
I
got a
didn't know
rim
that.
protector.
Yeah,
I
you
know
got
that.
to remember that. Yeah, they got Phil. They got they still bringing Trap back, and they got the guard. I just always say my guy, he from Africa, man. But the short guard
From Africa.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Nah. Kenny might be on that team too, but somebody in the comments might help me out.
African guard.
Short guard from Africa.
Yeah, and he just went to Africa like earlier this year.
For real?
Yeah,
He played in
yeah.
GM5 last year.
He played in gym. Yeah. I don't know. I know he be in a ton of leagues. You 1,000. Both of y'all know who I'm talking about. If
A
they say
short
the name.
African guard.
I don't. Yeah.
That's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
I
bro.
just say he African because he went to Africa earlier this year.
So he's probably not African at all.
His name ain't on there?
It ain't on here. No.
okay.
Just like David's name not on there, but I know he on the team. But anyway, yeah, I do think now. I thought it was a little weird that Keita's cousin didn't want to stay on the team because it's like it's your cousin. Like I thought because he's supposed to be I heard he was really good in college. You know, a little older now, removed from college, but he ended up going to I believe he's on Vipers now.
Oh, okay.
He was a part of that role when they moved.
Okay.
But Keita's cousin's supposed to be good. And he was on this original City Ballers team.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot more with him on it.
Yeah.
But him and Roe didn't like the draft, what Phil did, and trading me the pick, and and they got mad and asked for a trade.
Hey.
And I'm like, I don't know. I still would want to hoop with my cousin.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're
He
not
came
that
on the
close.
show. He told me about it. So you know what I mean. So I talked to him about it already.
Maybe
but
they're
I don't
not
know.
that close, man.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I got cousins still owe me money, so we're not that close either. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Foots, there you go, Foots.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, bro, he just hit a game winner on us not too long ago in Barnett. He can fill it up too.
Foots
man.
can score,
Foots can
man.
score.
What? Foots can score. Foots can score.
That's too funny.
No, that's facts. That's facts. He said, McLean.
What's that?
There go Roe naming names in the A. See, I wasn't gonna name no names, and I'm not gonna do it. He got me close. I almost repeated his.
What you doing?
I don't think you can see the comments on there. Oh yes, you can. Oh yeah, you see what Roe said?
The second one from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Roe.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? But yeah. Shout out to Roe, man. Once again, you're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink on my sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We're gonna come right back to the GM5, okay? But in the meantime, what I wanted to talk about, I asked him before the show what kind of music he listens to. What kind of music you be listening to?
all of it for real, like hip hop, R&B. I don't really go now R&B, but I go like back in the day R&B, and then I'm like hip hop back then and hip hop now.
Okay. I don't know if y'all saw Mike Beasley. Mike Beasley is becoming like a character, like in the active social media space now. From the 1-on-1 to the big
he's
three,
a motherfucking clown.
from 1v1 to the big three, he's like everywhere now.
Yeah.
And basically, he was on the Big Three podcast, and he was saying how Kodak is better than Kendrick Lamar.
Wait, what happened?
I never heard somebody say that. Man.
That's what my man said. Mike Beast.
What do you mean better?
So they was
Come on now. Come on, that's what I would.
and they asked him about it. So basically, when he was breaking it down, he was just saying how Kodak always comes with a new cadence flow. He's on the charts every year and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, Kodak. He's saying that Kendrick has better wordplay, but when you look at it from every other aspect, he says that Kodak is winning. Now, before y'all take the other route on this, I am the resident Kodak guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge Kodak fan. I'm a huge Florida rap scene fan, period. You know what I mean? And I do name Kodak as the Florida GOAT. But if anybody says Trick Daddy, I'm not going to argue with them. You know what I mean? So that's where I stand on it.
Rick
now,
Ross?
Huh?
Rick Ross?
I think I got Kodak well over Rick Ross. Okay. Yeah. For several reasons, not just rap. But I think if a New York guy beats you at anything, you got to go down in the ranks. And 50 Cent kind of did him in. All right, now,
New York guy.
you know what I mean? A New York guy ain't never beat me in nothing. All right, but moving forward here, that's a joke. I got a lot of New York homies. But when you look at it for real, I love Kendrick. I always say How to Pimp a Butterfly is one of my favorite albums of all time. Like I do think Kendrick is one of the best artists of this time. But it's like it really is a crazy statement from a crazy guy. You know what I mean? Because they're not in the same. It's just not in the same rooms. You know what I mean? They're just not in the same rooms to even draw that comparison. Only a guy that's aloof like that would even like say that. I don't know what the comparison would be, but it's not. They're in the same league. Like I know they're in the same profession, but it's just not in the same room. It's not fair to Kodak to put.
No,
It's not fair to
But
Kodak to say that.
you said what it needed to be said. Like, Beasley's a mentally ill guy. It just is what it is. You can pretend, but listen to that guy talk. Listen to him get interviewed. He's a mentally wounded animal, and that's it. Like, so anything he says to me is fucking useless.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't register.
I just want to know what he means by better, because I think, like you were saying, it's two different styles too. So it's like, how can you compare something like that? So I don't know.
Yeah, and then also, like, what does he mean by better? Do you mean who's the better artist, or who is like?
Hey, I'm gonna call
more
time
talented.
out. I'm gonna tell time out right now. You two guys in the last 15 seconds
I already knew
put more thought into this than he did in making his original statement. For real. Like,
No, I get it.
he's not an analytical guy like that.
That's funny.
But
It was probably as simple as he was rocking out to Kodak on the way to the show. And
but
that's
that derived from them asking him, like, who's the best artist out right now, and he named a few guys and didn't get to Kendrick, and then that's why they was like, oh, and they're better than Kendrick, and then he went into Kodak is better than Kendrick, but he had named I know he named Young
Sexy
Boy
Red.
and he named Young Boy Kodak, and he named like 3 other guys. But I will say that there is something too, and not just necessarily from Kodak, but depending on where you at in the world, there are a lot of guys that get played more than these like super national
100%.
guys. You know what I'm saying? And so if Beasley has been spending a ton of time, he's on the Miami Big 3 team. He's been spending a bunch of time in Florida and in Miami. He's definitely heard Kodak more than Kendrick Lamar. I mean, and when you really think about it, in Florida, you've only heard the Kendrick Lamar diss song. Like you're not hearing any other Kendrick Lamar records. For real.
Like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that does lend to something, but still you don't make that comparison. Gotta give my dog Kodak a little string. You know what I'm saying? Don't just hang him out to dry like that. Give him a fair fight. You know what I mean? All right, give him like, Baby or something. Give him a fair fight. Give him something.
I was gonna ask what you thought the fair fight would be.
Yeah. Like the Baby or one of the babies or something like that. I'll even hear like if you want to say like even a Thugger or something. Even though like Thugger is on a higher level as well, but you can make the argument. He can punch up. He can make an argument. All right. All right, I wanted to get my boy Kodak in there. We got him in there. This is another one I wanted to get in. Pink is not going to like this one. But this is trending in the sports news today. It's the WNBA, okay? Pink's not a huge fan, but I watch, okay? And there's 2 things going on. Number one.
But when's the last game you watched in WNBA?
I watched Alyssa get a triple-double. She has more triple-doubles.
When was that?
That was like 2 nights ago.
Oh, 2 nights ago.
Yeah. She has the most triple doubles in WNBA
fresh.
history.
Very fresh.
Yeah. And my girl Nafisa, she just came back from injury. Nafisa is fine, and she plays defense. Okay, I'm glad I'm not. Okay, here we go.
Match made in bed.
The WNBA, they may be heading towards a lockout because they can't. Oh my God. They can't come to terms. They haven't come to terms yet. When this season ends, they're going to have to either come to terms or lock out. And of course, the WNBA wants a lot more money for their players. And then on the other side, there you saw Caitlin Clark just signed a deal with Nike. But a lot of people feel like she was screwed in the deal. It was a $20 million deal, and then of course a lot of the top male athletes, they're in the hundreds as far as Nike deals.
How many? Hers is 8 years long.
And,
8 for 28.
But
how many women's basketball shoes are you gonna sell?
But I feel I would think like not just shoes. I mean, it's Nike, so it's
tampons.
Oh my God!
Come on, Pink.
Trying to get us kicked off YouTube, man. You got all type of gear that you can put Caitlin Clark on. People are going to buy that.
See, I just don't think men are going to buy that.
And you think that's what Nike is factoring in?
Well, yeah, of course they are. I mean, you're literally like, whatever, 50% of the market.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. You take men aren't going to buy it, so that's whatever, roughly 50% of the market. Then there's a massive chunk of women that just don't care about sports at all. It's not part of their life, so they're not going to buy it. So charitably, you may have a 25% market of people that might buy this stuff. It's math.
I think it's a long.
Put the crack pipe down.
An 8-year contract. I think that's a long time to see if something works out or not. Like you were saying, why not try it out for like 2-3 years and then maybe bump up the pay or something like that? Because 8 years to lock in for, you know what I'm saying, only $20 million is a long time to not.
Well, it's $28 million.
Well, 28, but.
But from Nike's perspective, though, you lock her in for a long time. If it goes big, you got her locked in for the whole year at value price. So it's a win for them.
But if it doesn't, also it's not a huge
mitigate
investment.
the loss.
Like,
Yeah, mitigate the loss. So I mean, good business for Nike.
I think right now, like, she has her colorway attached to a Kobe sneaker, so like that sells out, and Nike's like, okay, she has some demand, right? And she makes merch. I think maybe people buy like the first drop or like her first pair of shoes that'll have high demand, but. Because I'm like a sneaker guy, so just looking at it from that perspective, maybe things go downhill, especially how the design looks, how it feels. Because people are wearing the Sabrinas.
Have you seen the Caitlin, the CCs?
I've seen the logo. I haven't seen her shoe yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is her shoe out, or is it still in development?
No, I don't think it is. Like, I haven't seen anything.
Right.
I'm looking at that stuff often. So
yeah.
I've seen her logo. The logo is cool, like the CC logo.
Angel shoes are out, right?
Yeah, I've seen her shoe. Angel shoe is nice too, but people not wearing Reeboks.
I seen one guy. He had them playing. Injuries. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's such a niche market that if you're only producing a certain amount, sure, it looks like a sellout. But from Nike perspective or Reebok perspective, that's not necessarily what they're going for. You want to kind of keep stuff on shelves and keep selling your mass-produced items rather than selling out every drop. So, you know, I don't know.
That is good.
I ain't gonna lie, them Sabrinas selling though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It could be a market there.
They
look
how
like
they
little
look.
Kobe's. They look like some Kobe's. They're flat kind of on the bottom, but they keep. This is like her third or fourth line now. The Sabrina shoes. So
do we know?
People are buying them.
Do we know what her deal is?
I have no idea. No, I have no idea.
Because again, that probably was something in negotiations that kind of like set a floor or a ceiling. If she's already had 3 shoes come out and whatever they're paying her, you know, if it's already had some traction, they're probably gonna, you know, say, hey, you don't have any traction yet. We're kind of speculating on this. We know you got a big name. We're not gonna necessarily pay you, you know, double whatever Sabrina is. Yeah. I mean, it's all that's that thing. Like somebody's got to kind of break the market to reestablish it at a different level. Yeah. You know, from that perspective.
So hers is Sabrina's is worth 24 mil.
24?
Yeah, it just says multi-year, so I don't know exactly how many years, but 24.
Yeah.
And we said...
This is 8 for 28.
See, that's not enough. Caitlin Clark.
It seems like a lowball talking
over
about
Sabrina. Like, Caitlin is like the whole show.
Here's the problem you got to realize. She's already been hurt this year. Like, what type of player is she going to be in 8 years?
Yeah, how much more stardom does she have?
And she has, like... You know, she has the personality of a painted wall. Like, she's not sexy. She's not like a charming, charismatic type of person.
No social
not everybody
media
is.
Yeah, she doesn't have a
but
social
like
media presence.
There is a ceiling. Like right now, if you're looking at Caitlin Clark, it's literally like contingent on her continued basketball success.
Yeah,
and that could be, you know, injury, because she doesn't have that sort of broader charisma. Yeah. She's excites MAGA people, you know, and white racists, but beyond that, and hopefully we'll be done with those fuckers in a bit. That's all you got.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I do want to I want an Angel Reese jersey, but that's about it.
Bubba,
you wouldn't wear his shoes?
I want you to wear that shirt.
No,
on the show.
I'm not a shoe man anyway.
This man's wearing Crocs. What I couldn't even see. He's wearing like discount Crocs.
These are discount.
They reopened Flea World just to sell you those shoes.
I'm not a shoe man. I'm gonna tell you something. Growing up, and I have 2 sisters, right? And like I would always hear, like, you know, you gotta be fresh. You know, you gotta have the shoes. You gotta have this. And so I grew up, but we were so poor, I just couldn't get it. And then when I started getting girls in like Payless shoes and in like whatever and Kmart clothes, and then I just continued.
Simply can't hold it back.
Like, this man, y'all go
bread and
ahead and
butter.
get the new Jordan release. And I'm not, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But
If Bubba could sexually traumatize somebody's daughter in Crocs, where are we? What's going on?
I was pulling in Jesus sandals. I'm straight. Like, I'm just
You
good.
pulled more than Jesus in Jesus' shoes.
Straight.
Oh boy, Bubba,
No, facts.
you're the Hall of Famer.
So I got one more topic, then we're gonna get back to GM5. Yeah. What we did last week was, as far as, because the NFL is coming back, we went over AFC last week, but we're not gonna do like the entire NFC this week. But what I did want to talk about, I know I keep hitting that. I'm glad. I'm happy for you that you're not saying something to me about that. But this microphone here.
You good? Yeah.
I want to talk about the biggest storylines in the NFC, right? And it's like three like major storylines. And number one, of course, you always have the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean? And
That's a storyline.
of course, because you got Micah, who is, you can make an argument is the best player on the Cowboys, and he's threatening to hold out into the season if he doesn't get his new deal. And then you got Jerry Jones doing all of these weird interviews, and he's talking about him and Micah had a deal in his office. The agent wasn't there, but he thought it was a deal, and then Micah is he's apparently taking everything of Dallas Cowboys off his social media, which I went on there, I did see. And so it's like, okay, if you're the Cowboys and you're looking for, like, Dak's coming back healthy, you made a couple of moves here and there, you get Pickett over the receiver from the Steelers, George Pickens over there. You are looking to, like, to compete this year. I mean, come back. You're healthy. You made a move to get more weapons for Dak, and then you have this huge storm over here, this huge storm cloud with Micah. With the defense is like the numbers with him on the field and off the field are like crazy, and you don't see that often with like
Football
singular defensive players.
Football guys.
You know what I mean? As far as on and off, and it's crazy.
I just reject the Cowboys as a story. I mean, they're basically, they haven't won crap in 29 years. They're not winning a thing this year. Like, why are we worried about them? Seriously.
America's team, Pink.
I was about to say the same thing.
America's team with 3 Ks. They're just, this is one of my big things. Why as people do we waste time on things that are irrelevant? Like, they're not a good football team. I mean, if they surprise us and they're in the playoffs, like, let's talk about them. But, like, I'm not looking at the beginning of the football season worrying what the Cowboys are doing. I don't care. Like, the Eagles are good. Let's see what's up with them. Like, there's that. I just think wasting a team that, like, it just literally has this disproportionate fan base as America's team and whatever. It's like, you guys have stunk for almost 30 years. Like, 3 decades. Like, people have lived and died and you've still sucked. Like, what are we worried about you for? Like, get to the show. Get to the,
We had a couple times where we almost got to the show. Like, if you talk about that,
almost.
Yeah, see, I'm not even gonna get into it. I am a Cowboy fan, but I don't get too into it. Yeah, I am.
It's either that or you speak French. So
No, but when Des Bryant, like, when we were in
The Packers.
Yeah,
with the trap on the ground.
Yeah, we had a couple times where we were like right there to go into the show. It's just that we one of those teams where like people just be like, yeah, like the Cowboys are good, but like they gonna find a way to mess it up. Like,
yeah.
But that don't mean we a bad football team. Like, we compete every year.
Yeah, no, you're not like a truly bad 4-13 type of team. I agree with you, but to me it's just. I'm pushing back against this thing that, like, somehow the Cowboys are always important. And I'm like, I don't feel that they are because, again, for 3 decades, they've been at best, almost did this. They haven't done anything. And I just think it gets tiresome to keep talking about a team that hasn't achieved anything. You know, almost is fine. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you're a Cowboys fan. But, like, don't make them an NFL story because you have bad business and you have a significant player holding out. Like, that's your problem. It's a personal problem. Sort of like AIDS, unless you spread it to others.
What?
It's crazy.
The bars keep coming. Another major storyline in NFC, man, is my boy Jalen, man. Got to see how the Eagles, you know how they protect the championship. They, and everyone's going to be gunning for them, and I just want a season. I need a dominant season from Jalen Hurts just to shut everybody up, man. And I hated that that my guy Cam got drug into it from social media with Gilly and all of that, and because Cam Newton, I'm a Cam Newton fan because he originally went to Florida Gators and all of that.
That's all it took. Just that he went to the Gators.
Yeah, that's it. Once you're a Gator, you my dog for life. And but and it brought me to going against Cam because I do think Jalen is a better quarterback than Cam. I do. And people on Facebook were calling me crazy. I got my cousin talking about blocking me and all it is. And
The one that owe you?
Huh?
The one
Nah, his brother owe me though. But listen, yeah, and so I just want a full dominant season from Jalen Hurts and put it together and just and just shut everybody up.
For Philly, this is my question though. Like, how close can Saquon come to having the type of season he had?
That's what I was going to say.
Or do you feel
Does Jalen
like
have that?
I mean, Saquon has a history of injury, and like, does he have like? I guess what's the likelihood that he has a similar type of season?
We don't see dominant running back seasons back to back.
That's my point.
The last guy who went over 2,000 the next season was 1,100. Yeah. A lot of those guys, they do get hurt that next year because it's a lot of carries. It's
For sure.
It's a lot of workload. And Saquon is not a young, not a
super young guy. And the other thing with Saquon, not only did he do the 2,000 yards, he played like a full playoffs all the way to the Super Bowl.
Full playoffs.
So those extra
catches the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Like he gets a lot of touches.
So I think the recipe for Philadelphia to come close to defending the title is what you're saying. I think Jalen's gonna have to do more because I just don't think it's realistic to expect Saquon to do even as much as last year.
Yeah. Now they lost some pieces on defense, but they bringing back that entire massive offensive line. So that Saquon's
and they got the exciting
best offensive line.
They got the exciting whites too.
What was that?
Cooper and the other guy.
Oh.
Like shit.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. Are you afraid of the Eagles as a Cowboys fan?
100%. You know what's crazy is like my barber is an Eagle fan, so whenever I go get my hair cut, like we just go at it, and like he's like such a football like junkie, like he really breaks it down to me like how good y'all are, and like he like last year he called the Super Bowl from day one, like it was crazy. And every time I go get my hair cut, he'll just be like, I'm telling you, we winning the Super Bowl. Like
That's funny.
So yeah, I am scared of the Eagles.
How did you become a Cowboys fan? Like what era?
Born into it. My dad, my uncles, all of them Cowboy fans.
Okay.
So I kind of just grew up seeing them with the Cowboy stuff on, watching the games on Sunday and stuff like that. And you know what's crazy? Sorry, I also am watching the Cowboy documentary. It's on Netflix right now.
The Netflix one.
Yeah, and they go through like Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and all those guys. And like me watching it, like it kind of just like make me even more of a Cowboy fan just from.
Because that's what I'm wondering if like your dad and uncles that they got caught in like the Jimmy Johnson era, or was it even before like Tony Dorsett and all that stuff?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I was a huge Cowboy fan with Jimmy Johnson. I thought they should have kept that guy forever. I love like the Emmett and Michael Irvin and all those are my guys. I love that team. That was so much fun. Right. But like once they kind of went and they were gone and Jimmy's gone and Barry Switzer's just being drunk, it just wasn't the same.
Facts.
Who do you like a football team?
Packers.
You're a Packers guy?
Yeah, but I mean,
you're
it's tough
from
now.
Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, I'm from Milwaukee, so they call us the cheeseheads. But
yeah.
I mean, it was cool seeing us win and what was that? We were in high school.
With the Aaron Rodgers one?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. That was
Is
dope.
Is that like in that area? Is that really like a huge? They make it seem like it's like a huge football or die town, almost like Alabama College, like like the Milwaukee area. They give that Green Bay cheese like they're crazy.
Have you
It's
worn the
more of
cheese
like
head?
no, I never worn
Never
one.
worn
I've been
it?
to Lambeau Field a few times. I
you
never
been to
worn
Lambeau?
one. I've seen like friends and family wear it, but no, I don't think I've ever worn one. Actually,
do
when I
it,
was
man.
if I did, it was on a field trip. We had like a school field trip to Lambeau
okay,
Field, so we
okay.
saw like Titletown and all that. So I probably tried one on, but I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. But where I'm from in Milwaukee, I grew up like in the city, and then I moved to the suburbs when I got older. But people really hoop out there. Like it's too cold to be outside playing football, so we hoop. You know what I'm saying? So, but more of the suburban areas, yeah, they die hard about football. So it's the Badgers, the Packers, you know, that's what they going for. So.
Yeah, yes, right. Wisconsin.
The University of Wisconsin, like
Wisconsin,
where-
Madison.
where-
That's the Badgers.
okay.
It's in
How
Madison.
far is that from Milwaukee?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Oh, it's a good ride.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like right up the street. Chicago is closer than Madison.
When I was in Chicago, I didn't realize Milwaukee is
Chicago's
pretty
like
close.
an hour from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I didn't recognize that. Now the Packers do got a
AJ and I
solid
were
team,
tearing
so-
it up in Chicago this
Yeah.
summer.
Straight up.
It was this
Oh yeah,
summer.
y'all were.
Yeah, I went up there for Bitcoin.
Yeah, that was dope seeing the team. Y'all had a nice team.
Yeah, it was fun.
But yeah, the Packers do got a nice solid team coming back here. You know, it's all going to depend on the receiving core for Jordan Love.
Right.
They were like close to leading the league in drops last year. So this year, you know, they drafted a receiver high in the draft. So yeah, definitely see how that go. They're going to fit in that. They're going to have a shot.
They still running in Philly too, so it's like
Exactly. Yeah.
I think, like, can Washington be good again? Like, or do they suffer some sort of a slump? Is Jaden Daniels maybe exposed in some way? To me, that's a big story.
That is.
Because they're very successful. There's, you know, it's always, you know, a great thing when you have a young quarterback on a rookie deal. Are they able to maximize in this window and do something, or do they take regress a bit?
Yeah.
They need to figure out their logo.
what they gonna do. Gotta help them out.
Something.
Graphic design.
All right, let's get back to some GM5 talk here to close it out. Now, real quick, I just want to catch up here on the comments. Kobe asking, I guess it might be for Pink. It says, did we get an over/under wins on FSU? He sets it at 3. What do you set it at?
Over/under wins?
Yeah. He gave one for the Gators too.
We need 7 or everybody's getting fired.
7 or everybody's fired.
That's a fact.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know, even if you get out of the gate like 2-5, 2-6, like Norvell's done.
Oh, midway.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. If you're not, you know, around 500 at the midpoint, like he's gone.
Are you hearing actual? Because I know you're like in these.
No,
different-
I actually stay away from it right now.
Oh, okay.
I really read minimal stuff because there's always that, you know, when you're a fan of a team, they'll always write positive stuff and get you like excited. And I'm still very angry at all of the FSU associated media for not saying a damn word before last year. Like nobody knew the shitstorm was coming.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like
Yeah.
that's just, you want to call yourself a journalist and you're not going to report that this team might actually suck? Like, hand in your fucking laptop.
It did for the Gators. He sets it at 6. I'm the resident Gator fan here.
That's a shit number for you guys.
It is. I mean, these are just.
I mean, if
Kobe's personal number. This is not Vegas.
if they only win 6 games,
Everybody's getting fired.
Yeah, I mean,
No, if y'all quarterback good to go, y'all should be all right.
Yeah, if he healthy,
yeah.
if Lagway
well, that's what
stays healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. 6 is like that's
that's
very
crazy.
disappointing.
If
for
Lagway
that.
stays healthy,
Yeah.
you can pin us in for 8 games. I think the record would be 9-3, but if he stays healthy, it should be 8-4.
But see, my problem is this. I like, maybe my standards are too high. I think if you're not in that 9-3 range where maybe you get into playoff or maybe people are saying, oh man, they really screwed the Gators and kept them out, I think Napier's in deep trouble.
He is, and I want to say Lagway healthy or not healthy, that's the case. But I just got a feeling that they love him so much as far as like the AD and things like that, that if Lagway gets hurt, that's going to provide an excuse to give him another year. Because the issue is he keeps signing these he has the number 1 overall quarterback again.
Yeah.
When was the last time Florida got 2 back? We never do that. Like, they never get that. So it's like, okay, if Lagway is going to be a guy who's hurt, whatever, we got the next phenom coming right next year or the year after, whatever. So it's like, I don't know if they'll give him a little leeway. And also, you know, when you fire coaches, sometimes you lose a lot of those recruits. And then you got another top 5, top 10 class coming in.
Sometimes when you simply lose, you lose the recruits.
So yeah,
I mean, a lot of these guys are committing to Gator team that they think is going to be in the playoff, and that they're going to join the next year
and be the next push to get the championship.
And so if you kind of muddle through a 7-5 or
you're going to lose
6-win team,
lose some,
they're going to be like, hey, you know, what's Ohio State got to say? What's Texas?
Yeah.
You know, that's the reality of college football.
And then you had some talking about the WNBA stuff. Sabrina's a cheaper alternative to getting Kobe lookalikes. As far as the shoes. And then he says Roe was talking about Caitlin, saying that they already put the injury prone tag on her. And then TP said AJ couldn't hold back his feelings on the Cowboys. They're real fan.
That we came out. He said we.
He did. And the funny thing was, until you dropped the we, I didn't have any idea.
I know. I could tell none of y'all didn't know that either.
I wasn't expecting it.
Now, Pete, tell me, do you know what Roe talking about here? He says y'all saw that dude that said Jordan gave the Heat 30 while drunk. I didn't see that.
I've seen multiple stories where, you know, he was golfing and drinking until tip off, and you know. Yeah. But there was a story. I think he'd played golf, and they were riding back to the hotel, and I think he was like stopped in a bar. Is like, hey, you know, get me on the way to the game, and so he'd been drinking on the course, and then had a few, and then he picked him up. I mean. You know, he averaged over 30 a game. You know, he just had an average night. You know.
Yeah, no, I didn't see
but
that.
He was literally a superhero. I mean, like in terms of like just like staying up all night. I mean, everyone says like he literally didn't sleep.
Yeah. You
know, and just did whatever. Like played cards, played golf, and then just went and played basketball. It just was one of those people. Like they're just not normal.
No, that's nuts. That's nuts. I saw Tyrone Lue was on Shannon Sharp podcast talking about a lot of stuff, and he was talking about because he was a part of that Wizards.
When Jordan came to the Wizards,
was with the Wizards. He was either in the league or on that team. I forgot what
might have been on that team.
I think he was on the team with him. He was on the team.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures
because he was saying basically how because Jordan had some big nights when he was with the Wizards.
He was still averaging like 25 plus.
Yeah, he was still averaging like over 20.
I think the first year I think he had an injury, but I think the last year I think he played 82 games.
Yeah.
Like his last season at whatever, close to 40 years old, he played 82 games and averaged 20 plus
so
points.
he was just talking about how freakish he was even at that age.
Yeah.
So I wanted to close it out on some more GM5 talk here. You know, one team we didn't talk about was on the bench. You know what I mean? So you got some changes that were made, some changes that were forced.
Post-game celebration. Oh, here we go. Now it's
seeing this, man.
What about? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Dude, I there's got to be at least 10 people who saw that and text me some variation of, what's wrong with Bubba? Is he really like that?
No, that was a fun time, man. I did that one time in the middle of the season after a win.
Yes.
And one of the guys got really mad with me.
Why?
What's my guy's name? That PJ. That was against
at us?
It was it was in the regular season. I remember that. PJ got pissed, man.
I didn't even know you did that after you played.
Was that way? That was last year or the year before?
I was about to say it might have been the year before.
I think it was the year before. You were with Squad X at the time.
With Squad X at the time.
Yeah. So I remember that.
Yeah, PJ got
because I remember just like Oh my God, he's really just down there.
So I said after that,
you were doing a JD Vance on the court.
after that, I said, you know what? I'm only gonna do it again if we win a championship. 'Cause that was too much. It was just like whatever week 3 you win. I was like, yeah.
Were you inspired by that story I told about West Orange and Dr. Phillips football?
No.
I went to a game. It was, Dr. Phillips and West Orange football. West Orange threw like a long touchdown final play to win. And everybody on the West Orange bench like runs to the end zone to the guy who scored the touchdown, except one guy. He went out to the logo at Dr. Phillips and did a Bubba.
Started doing that.
Yeah, it was so wild. You're just
football.
looking at it like he's the only guy in the middle of the field. Everyone is celebrating a touchdown. It was crazy.
But yeah, so just from the aspect of we were forced to make some changes, and and the thing about peaking out, first of all, connecting with Melo to form the very first team after Squad X won the championship, you know what I mean, and then finding out, okay, you guys might not be coming back. So the first thing we did was connected with Melo to make that, and then
An ale house meeting.
Definitely an ale house meeting. Food on pink, and and then but rolling into this season, and knowing, okay, was it going to have Rod? We knew some guys were hurt. We got one guy who was pursuing a music career. Shout out to our guy. And then just so different changes you got to make and all that. So Pink, what was going through like your head as far as after last season and knowing some changes that we was going to have to make?
There's always this thing. So like the season ends, and then we kind of chilled, and then you start hearing like other teams are talking to guys and this and that. And you're like, God damn, already there's no break here, and so then you feel like we got to get in that mode of like building a roster and whatever, and then you just start working through contingencies. It's like, well, if we have Melo, then let's talk to Melo and figure out who he'd be interested in playing with, and then what if he doesn't want to play, or what if whatever, and then then you're like, well, what will we do then? And you pivot to other ideas.
Because that's the first thing. Because that's exactly how it went down. Because we started hearing about. I heard some guys were making some moves, and then I heard from Rod. Then I said, oh shit, well let me check with Melo. I was like, yeah, shit is going on early. Because what Burger was early as hell. Like we're talking to players, and I heard some other teams too. So then I was like, okay. So then we hit up Melo, and Melo was like, yeah, I really don't know. It's either this or that. And so I was like, okay, Pink. So if no Melo, because it's really two completely separate teams. It's either like a team built around Melo, or we're going in a totally different direction, or we don't do it at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was on the table too.
Now my bottom line is, I have no interest in being out there with a team that can't win.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense to spend the money and whatever, to do that. So it's like, we're going to have to formulate a group that we have a high level of confidence is going to be competitive. Otherwise, it's not worth doing. So then, like, again, it starts a thing. And if Melo decides not to do this, then, okay, well, where are we then? And we've got to, find a nucleus of guys that can compete in this league. And so, kicked around some names and so forth. And then you'll get a little further down the road and Melo's in, and then we kind of, who's available, whatever. But I always feel that like change is the constant. Like you have to just accept that. Like in like the minute the game ended, like I was not interested in running back 100% with everybody we had. I don't think we win again with that group, because I feel like everybody else is going to strive to be better. Mm-hmm. And so, you have to look at it that way and be like, all right, well, what's the best group we can put together? And as far as that, like you're looking at attributes of like, well, we need a balance of shooting, of size, of defense, of athleticism, and those things, and you got to put together the right mix, and that's just basic team building, and but I like our team. I like what we've been able to do. I think stylistically we'll have to be a little different than we were last year, and that's okay.
Did y'all see a player and was like, damn, I didn't see that coming, to be on our team? Who was that?
Everybody except Melo, man. Ain't gonna lie, y'all.
Yeah,
y'all
Keith shocked me. Big Keith.
You know who shocked me for real? Name me y'all six again.
Terrell Christian.
It's Terrell,
Not Terrell.
Keith, Melo, Luke, Damon, and Willie.
Willie, man, because I just played Ace League with him and he wasn't missing nothing all season.
Hey,
Bro, they got Willie and Luke. Like,
No, I'll tell you how. That Willie in the Ace League.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because everything's talking, and we played Melo, and Willie hit shots that first Ace League game, and then within a couple days, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, let's look at Willie.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000. Willie hit me twice. And I was giving him the soft, stiff arm. Like, yeah, I gotta see Melo might not even be in. We might not even have a team at all, which was true. But it was a little on the, we're going to do it. But I need to see first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, he comes out in the Ace. And then I circle back with Pink and Melo. I'm like, we got to get him in here.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And move whoever off that we need to move off, which was really nobody at that time because we didn't have a full six.
Yeah.
So, that's what that was. That's what that was.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things, too, is availability, because we every season we kind of deal with that.
Jack said that.
Yeah.
You got to have people that are gonna show consistently.
It started to get annoying.
Yeah,
because we had some crazier names.
Yeah,
but it's just just can't depend on them to be there every week, and that's kind of and with the rules, there's so many rules and different things in this league. Mm-hmm. So you kind of got to have people that's going to be there at least 80% of the time, dog.
Yeah.
No, that's. I think the funny thing is and I remember, AJ, you remember Select Group in the Ace?
Yeah.
So, but
about ones we played in the championship, right?
The 1 year, yeah. But the thing about it, until you start putting these teams together in different things, the average person has no idea how difficult it is to get the people to the game. Mm-hmm. And I remember talking to those guys a couple different times and was they were just what the fuck are we gonna do? Because they had a great a name roster was crazy, and then it was they couldn't get guys to come. They'd play a game with 5 guys, they'd play a game and pull somebody out of the crowd. It was just crazy, It's just but it's that is so critical. I mean, and it's every time you do this. We have rosters right now, 9 guys deep, whatever. There will be a couple Saturday mornings where each one of us is sitting there going, I hope a 6th guy walks through the door here in the next couple minutes, or we're gonna be in a little trouble today. It just is what it is, man. It's harder than it seems.
And that's low key how I am too. When I go to these type of leagues, I was telling Berger at one point, I'm like, man, let's just rock out with 7 to 8 dudes. For real. I was really saying 7, but then Berger was like, nah, let's go 8. And then when we started thinking about it more, we was like, bro, how many times last year we had only 5 players and you know what I'm saying, people couldn't show up. So I was like, nah, we need a full roster.
What I was gonna ask about that particularly, because I know y'all was the first team that in the draft was like, yeah, we're good, no more players.
Facts.
Now and then because I was talking with Pink earlier today too, because then you got TP's message this morning in the group chat was his morning thoughts, and some of y'all teams should have filled out your team in the draft because now you got issues with guys showing up first game or whatever. I know that was a sneak diss on me, but because we got 3 guys out the first week. But like I said, and then sort of what you're saying here is a lot of those guys, they do want to play a good amount of minutes, a lot of minutes.
That's my biggest thing right there.
You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of a catch-22 because I would love to have you if somebody don't show up, but it's I don't need you in that role every week. Yeah, that's the
to play an actual game.
Yeah,
you really don't want more than 7 people.
Yeah.
If you got a good team with everybody serves a purpose, you just want 7 guys to show up. You got subs. You got if somebody turns an ankle, if somebody has foul trouble, you're good. You can play. 8 and 9 guys in one game, it sucks.
Especially adults.
Yo, for sure. But especially not only adults, but I'll say this, when you have a good roster, Like when your 8th guy or 9th guy is a good basketball player, and he, you got to give him a shit couple minutes just to get him on the floor. And we were saying like the average person, the game's about an hour. The average person is going to travel 20 to 30 minutes or whatever. Like you're taking 2 hours out of your day to drive out to Sanford and play 4 minutes. Like that's not good, and that's the crazy thing. And that's why this is me. Like I hate all these bullshit rules. I hate the draft. I hate the combine. I hate the roster limitations, and I hate the game requirements. At the end of the day, like let us bring a team. And if we need an extra guy, like we can reach and find an extra guy and bring a competitive team that particular Saturday. And we don't have to worry about, did this guy play his 8 games so he's eligible for the playoffs or whatever? Maybe we didn't need that guy because he's the 8th guy and we had a solid 7. And rather than having this guy waste 2 hours of his freaking Saturday to play 4 minutes, 6 times, like, let's just be grown-ups about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because what I do is I tell, like I told Jello last year, I told Tariq this year who we took in the draft. I was like, yo, week to week, I'm going to let you know. Like, you can come to every game. You can come to any game you want to come to. But I'm going to let you know the games where we probably don't need you. You probably wouldn't play as much. And then it's going to be on you if you want to take the drive or not. That's how.
And the ones that we definitely need the guy.
Yeah.
We know we're shorthanded.
Yeah,
so,
hey,
we need all hands on deck.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And like I told him for this week 1. So that's how we do it. But it's tough, man. Like, cause and I said this in the chat too. Cause last year we drafted guys like we took Day, and Day was frustrated with the minutes he was getting, and demanded a trade. And we was playing him a good amount. But not only are they adults, but they are adults who paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They paid, and it's like so. And then also we talk about this, and it's a lot of other leagues in Orlando that'll go nameless. I don't want to talk bad on anything or anybody, but some of these guys get into these other leagues and they dominate, and they feel a certain level about themselves, and that's not, they don't live in reality. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old guy now. I live in reality. Even when I wasn't an old guy, I lived in reality. I know my level of basketball playing. No matter if I'm in a bad league and I score 30 one day, or I'm in a good league and I score 5. Like, I know what level I'm at, and I know what I should be and how many minutes I should get. And some of these guys don't know. And so
I know how many minutes Bubba.
So the only way to avoid it is just to avoid drafting those guys, because you kind of know them. You can kind of see them from a mile away.
Yeah.
So if you are the GM, or you picking the team, or you're a part of the selection process, you need to know, that's a guy that's gonna want 20, 30 minutes a night, and he probably need to shoot 10 times to even feel like he's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
OTB don't need that.
Yeah.
I need them extra shots going to Willie and Luke.
Yeah,
I need the ball in Melo's hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, that's the roster construction and what you do. It's like everybody. You're in the best place when everybody has a purpose, whatever that role is. But if it's a meaningful role and there's a purpose to it. But when you have guys that they're just kind of there in case somebody else doesn't show, it's not great.
Yeah. Hey, Pink, you remember when we was in the airport and I asked you, when it was me, you, and Tuck at the table, and I asked you, I said, where do you draw the line between being realistic with yourself and having confidence in yourself?
Yeah, I do remember the conversation.
That's kind of like what Bubba's saying.
Yeah.
How do you, like if you had to give somebody advice on, like, okay, knowing yourself and living in reality versus you having confidence in yourself, because if you tell somebody, oh man, I don't think I can score 30 in this league, somebody might be like, bro, you got to have confidence in yourself. You never know. Like, where do you draw that line?
The line usually draws itself.
The line usually draws itself.
Time will tell.
Yeah. That's another bar.
Yeah.
That is a bar right there.
Sure. Because that's the thing. Like, you can, I say this about like NBA pros and stuff like that. The great players can do whatever they want. They take whatever shot they want. The team is based around them. The other rest of the people that fill out a roster are ultimately the guys that figured out where their line is and what they can do. And they craft themselves into a certain thing. Maybe it's a 3-and-D guy. Maybe it's a energy guy off the bench. Maybe it's just a knockdown shooter. Like, you figure out where your line is and you build your career in that space. And teams have, like, they have places for people that know their role. What they don't have places for is, like, reasonably good guys who think that they should be the guy taking 18 shots in an NBA game, and they're the guy that plays 8 minutes or 12 minutes a night. There's no use for that. And that's the thing. And so, like, you're going, I mean, when the line appears, you have to respect it. And the quicker you respect it, the more value you bring to a team. If you don't respect your line, you're just going to burden everybody.
Yeah, it's another thing I picked up from watching that Tyronn Lue on there is I honestly, I did not know that Tyronn Lue was like a big scorer in like college and high school. Like, I'm talking about over 20 a game. Yeah. And especially in college, that's like a huge number. And but because I only saw him in the NBA. In the NBA, he was a defender, like really a pesky defender guy who would take an open three if it was passed on, but he rarely even did that. He was a pesky defender guy. You know what I mean? And like he said, when he got to the league and he didn't play for a while, he learned like, okay, this is what I need to do to stay on the court. I need to pick up 94 feet. I need to be pesky to people. I need to stop people from scoring. And that's how I'm going to stay in this league. It's not from me scoring the basketball, which I've only done my entire life. Yeah. Now, when you take the opposite of that, I find just as intriguing because, like your guy, Kawhi, Kawhi was a role player who turned himself into a star. He was not a star in high school and college. Mm-hmm. He was the rebounds guy, the defender guy, and a fast break guy. And somehow he morphed himself into a fucking scoring.
Well, at the core of that is the hard work. But I also think that there's like an awakening that occurs with a person like Kawhi where you're playing and you're in NBA games and it's just like, this motherfuckers can't stop me. Like, they can't do anything with me. And then you become emboldened and you put more work in, you refine the game, and now you're what you are. Again, that doesn't happen to many people at all. But that's part of it. Like, and again, look at Kawhi, like probably 6'8", 230, athletic, just a force. Look at Ty Lue, 5'11", whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, again, he wasn't playing. He had to figure out, what is it that I'm going to do to stay on the floor? And I remember DeJounte Murray, when he was a Spur, he was on one of the podcasts, and he was telling, Kawhi told him, he's like, defense is going to get you on the floor.
Oh, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
And that was like his first foray into it. Now, he kind of evolved offensively.
But he was, that's funny. I never heard that story, but that's DeJounte's first few years in the league. He was known as a defensive point guard.
Yeah, and he tells it like Kawhi was the one, because he was obviously frustrated. He wasn't getting the minutes he wanted. Things weren't going his way. And Kawhi pulled him aside. It's like, you defend, he can't take you off the court.
Yeah, I like that. That's a solid player too, man. So what do y'all want to leave with, man? Talking about the GM5.
Do y'all think it's because something I forgot to mention too with our team is that we went ahead and picked up Pat Triolo as our coach.
He told me that. He just told me that yesterday. Shout out to Pat. Matter of fact, he just texted me too.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
He's texting you right now?
Because I couldn't get somebody's name right. So shout out to Pat, man, for getting me my guy's name.
No, I was gonna say, do y'all think it's beneficial for teams to have coaches in this type of league, or just to have, you playing with your homeboys and you just go out there and hoop?
Absolutely.
Have a coach.
And that's something I figured out
if
last
you
year
want to
too.
take yourself seriously as a team.
Yeah.
You need a coach if you want to compete in this league. And I told Pat that yesterday. I said, damn, that's a good pickup by them. If nothing else other than you got to have somebody to manage the people, to manage the subs, and manage the rotation is basically what I want to say, manage the rotation. If nothing else other than that. But I also like it. I think that you need somebody on the sideline watching the game at all times, just a bird's view. You need another voice to be able to see the game, because when you're in the game and playing, some things you're not going to see, some things you're not going to pick up on.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I've always viewed it as being like another set of eyes. Like, I'm not necessarily going to tell you how to play basketball, but I might offer a perspective and share it with you and say like, hey, if we do this, or like think about changing this or whatever. And then it's just like a collaborative thing with guys that know what they're doing, but it's an extra set of eyes that I'm watching the whole thing and you're busy finding your guy or whatever. And it's just, that's where I think some of the value is. You're not, you don't want to overcoach things at this type of basketball, but an occasional random inbounds or sideline out of bounds play we score on. Bubba's got a great record, but like for real, like Bubba's has this insane record of scoring on stuff that I actually draw up.
For real?
Oh, it's crazy. It's like it's insane. It's like you've probably shot, like, no lie, like about 80% on plays that it ends up where you're the guy.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
Yeah, and you know what's even hilarious about that? More funny. I never ran a fucking play before that first time in GM5. And so it's funny how, like, IQ works. It's just like, okay, boom, boom, boom. That's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? In the first game, actually, the first time you ever drew up a play, because it was off of Big Tim.
Yeah.
And Tim actually, like, he helped me on the play. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't going to take all the credit. Because I was like, damn, okay, what am I supposed to do? I whispered to him. And because I think it was against the Enforcers. But definitely, but on the coach thing, for sure. Like, so, because I'm trying to think what teams don't have a coach. But I think most of the top teams do. Us three do.
Oh, you got a coach?
They just got Pat, he said.
Oh, it was him that got Pat. Okay.
Yeah, just picked up Pat. And
well, TP coach Park Legends.
TP's going to coach Park Legends.
I don't know if Count Up got a coach or not.
They don't really. Lido kind of, I guess, is their leader. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
I wonder, like,
I think they need one, though.
I wonder what the success rate is for teams that have been champions in GM5. Do they all have coaches, or like the teams that got further, do they have coaches, or is it just like a player-led team?
Squad X had a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about the first game time? They had a coach.
But they didn't always,
Santos.
like, every game they didn't have a coach.
Santos was there.
No, I'm saying like last year game time didn't have a coach every game.
Oh, you're talking about that
the
version of game time. I'm talking
Y'all
about
won
game
last
time.
year.
Yeah, no, we won last year, but we beat them in the finals. So I mean, they got far, but they didn't necessarily like have a.
Who was
But
that?
you know Shane, they coach.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah,
But-
Shane's
but-
kind of
but-
like a hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah. I ain't gonna get into that. But anyway, because some of them are watching that. But I did hear some things about that. But yeah. So yeah, I do think it's important, man. It'd be interesting to see how Count Up do without one this year, and see how that go. What do y'all feel about, like, when the lists come out, like the top point guards? That's the most recent one we talked about. We
For
didn't
GM5.
we haven't done anything recent on like bigs.
For GM5. Yeah.
So like when you see like for instance we just did the point guard. I don't know if did you watch that?
I listened to
it.
Yeah, I did listen to it.
Yeah, so like what
'Cause
you
I
be
was leaving
thinking,
the
like,
gym.
when we be talking about it?
I think everybody got opinions, and I think everybody sees the game differently. And obviously, like, all the games are recorded, so whatever we're showing you in those games that are recorded, that's what you have to, what I'm saying, base it off of. I'm not gonna say I don't care about people's opinions, but it's like, I respect it. I know what I bring to the table, so I'm not gonna sit here and say, like, I'm taking things personal or anything like that. But
I'm glad you don't.
I think it's a respectable thing.
Because I felt uneasy about it. I didn't know what to place Rowe. That was like my biggest thing. So so TP was asking me, okay, so like he going through the list. He was like, okay, DJaxx or Rowe. But see, and here goes, like, I do need to see Rowe play in GM5 because I haven't. I know how he plays, and I figure how he would play in here, but I didn't know how to stack him up against, like, Lido and Rowe, DJaxx and Rowe, and then so forth down the line.
I'm a, comparison is the thief of joy guy. I don't like these comparisons.
But you have to.
You don't.
Nah, you do though.
I think it's good for y'all.
You do
like you
have
said, it creates that line that we talked about. It creates that line, and then
Sports is like
It's
built
sports.
It's like
At
the
the end of the
barbershop,
day.
bro. Like, what you people talking about in the barbershop?
I
Like,
cut
you
my
gotta
own
have
hair,
it.
man. I cut my own.
Stop it, Pink. You compare players and all the time. That's what we do.
But like, I'm not big on ranking dudes like that.
Okay.
I'm bigger. I'm like, okay, I know this guy. I want this guy on my team. or I don't. Really, it's this. I want this guy on my team. Or I don't want this guy on
Bingo.
my team.
I struggle with that because one player can be better than another player.
But you don't want to play with them.
Yeah, but but I wouldn't necessarily want that person on my team, even though he's the better player.
Yeah.
No.
Facts.
That's true. That's
That makes
100%.
sense.
That's 100% true. And like, players are not like in isolation. Like it's with what you have. And so, like, you have to look at it and say, well, I have this guy already, like Melo, for example. And Melo, like, I know he's going to command the ball. He's going to play with incredible energy. It's like, I don't need another guy that's going to try and play in the same exact way that Melo's going to play. Mm-hmm. I've got Melo. Like, and that's the thing. I need things that are going to work with him, and not basically fight him for the same job. And that's the thing. Like, and you got it. Like, you look at a team, and it's always like collective attributes. It's like, okay, well, do we have ball handling? Can we shoot the basketball? Can we, are we tough enough, strong enough to rebound and defend? Mm-hmm. Are we athletic enough? Or are we just going to be too slow? Like, you're always just striving to find the balance of your group that can compete in, kind of any situation you're going to encounter in that particular league. That's what roster building is and what they're doing. And sometimes it's based on like what other people have. Yeah. Like, oh, hey, if we really want to win this, like they've got that guy. We've got to have something that competes with that guy. Yeah. Or we just get crushed in that space. And that's not acceptable either. So it's all like, do I want this guy in my group or do I not want this guy in my group? And there's certain guys that like and you're in that category. I've been around you a long time. Like, there's not a game or situation I wouldn't prefer you to be on my team. That's just the way it is, But I've seen you play and operate in so many different situations. I trust 100% what you're going to do, And that's a thing that, as a coach, I think I look for a lot. But it's all finding the balance. Like, again, like an individual guy that, doesn't really ever make anybody better or do anything for anybody else but themselves. Like, that's not a winning guy. Yeah, you could win like at a level where if that guy's just so much better than everybody around, but you're not going to win a good league with that type of guy, because the other teams are going to be deeper. They're going to be more balanced. They'll be able to do something with that guy to slow him down, and the rest of your guys are going to, kind of just not be enough. Yeah. And my biggest thing too is like in a certain level of league game, it's like certain people just can't play. They just don't belong on the court at all. Like in another situation, another team, maybe they could play, but like when we play the better teams, like the bench gets short. It's like there's only a certain level of guy that can operate and play and contribute to the game, not just be out there getting cardio. And you've got to match that. If you can't match that, we can't use you right now.
One thing I'll say about the list is I think the end of the season last year, and y'all had, I don't know if it was like 4 or 5 of y'all, and I were going through each position and giving the list. Every list was so different. It was like there was no, consensus. I don't know, I guess, there was no consensus. There was no structure as to like, okay, these are the type of players we're putting in this list. It was just like y'all are just throwing anybody in there. And I think that's when it becomes like, all right, they're just saying anything and people not really paying attention.
Because it's tough being on there with those guys sometimes on court side because I think they want to include everyone, number one, and number two, home bias, biases and things like that, and then 3, I don't know, maybe they just don't see the game the right way. You know what I'm saying?
That C is it.
Darvis is nuts.
C is for cons.
I fucks with Darvis though. A lot of people don't fuck with Darvis. I fucks with Darvis.
You know what I'm saying? Coach?
Nah, not this season.
Oh, okay.
But he said he gonna be out there with his pyrocast stuff like that. But but he's a little nuts sometimes with how he evaluates players. And then TP got some biases here.
What's nuttier, Darvis's player evaluations or his sentence structure?
He's a funny guy though, man. I look at him as funny. I don't take nothing serious on what he said. I wish players would like just take him more as funny.
He's a court.
Somebody was in the chat arguing with him today for like 30 minutes.
You should never argue
with
Darvis.
He just laugh. He's funny.
Yeah, you should never argue with Darvis. He's a court jester.
You ever take what he say serious?
Nah, for sure not.
I'm
sure but that's my guy. I love Darvis. Like, what's crazy is like I only play with for the most part. I only play with Pedro Posse and stuff. But like Darvis was like the first team that I ever played on in a men's league.
Really?
In Orlando, yeah.
Okay.
So I mess with. I've been knowing Darvis for a long time.
Yeah.
And like, I don't take nothing he say serious. I just be laughing.
Yeah,
for
just
sure.
be laughing, man.
But yeah, man. But let's wrap this thing up, man. GM5 is starting this Saturday. Okay.
I think the first game is at 10 a.m. I believe.
We got the first one.
Yeah. Y'all in that first one.
And I'm second. 11.
And you're saying, and we're 12.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but the games will be at Crooms High School if you want to come out. That's up in Sanford. It's a legit high school gym, really good environment. See some good basketball, some good camaraderie, and I mean, it's a good way to spend the mid part of Saturday.
Yeah, eat good too, man.
Yeah, you dropped the concessions menu.
Yeah. Brittany gonna be out there
they're
with the
locked
food.
in with the concessions?
She's locked in.
Good, okay.
Yeah, I just wrote it today to make sure. So she's gonna have her food out there. They dropped the menu too on GM5 page, so she got some good stuff coming out there. So yeah, come out support, man.
And then the early games, doesn't interrupt watching college football later in the day. I'm a little bummed we got the 12 o'clock because Texas and Ohio State are playing.
Yeah.
We'll catch the second half though.
Yeah, I got a little piece of change on Texas, so we'll see how that goes. All right, on the bench. Catch you guys next week.
We're out.
Still hot mics for a second.